As the sun shines off the buildings of the downtown Tulsa city skyline, we are set for a USL game here this evening, live from One Oak Field, as your Tulsa Roughnecks get set to take on T2. Portland Timbers 2 coming in with 4 points on the season, and the Roughnecks with 12 points overall, as you see the backdrop of one of the best settings in all of the USL. I'd like to welcome everyone in watching us this evening as the fans are getting set for the actions here tonight. I am Jeremy Poplin, joined by my friend Dave Saunders, and a little bit of weather concerns here earlier in the day. As of right now, things have pushed off to the north, to the northeast. Still, if you've spent any time in Oklahoma, you know it's just a matter of time. Things can spring up at any point in time, so there was this threat that was kind of hanging over the city here today over this Memorial Day weekend, as you have a great shot there from the panoramic view. As a young fan set to enjoy this evening, it is extremely warm out there, 84, but the humidity at 77%. It feels like 95. And that means it's summer here in Oklahoma. Dave Saunders, as we welcome in the Portland Timbers 2 this evening, a team that has struggled at times, and the Roughnecks on a bit of a struggle themselves, losing 2 games in a row on the road to Sacramento and to Reno. But the one thing Coach Vaught pointed out earlier this week, he's not too concerned. He has lumped this month into a 7-game schedule. And as of right now, sitting at 3-2 when you count the Open Cup win. And even though maybe give up a few more goals than he would have wanted to on a road trip like that, he still feels extremely positive and appreciative of at least the way this Roughneck side is played.
Yeah, good evening, Pop. Good evening, everybody. It's been a funny old season, hasn't it, so far, we could say, for both of these teams. You've got a Portland Timbers team that, you know, has beaten Sacramento on their own patch 2-0 and then couldn't score a goal for a month. And then you've got fantastic home form for the Roughnecks, and then those 2 defeats the last 2 games away from home, Pop. So I'm glad to hear that the coach, you know, is pleased with the way it's going. I think you take 8th place, wouldn't you, at the moment? You know, it's been a new team that's been put together. They've been very well coached, as we've often said. This will be an interesting one. They need to bounce back from those 2 defeats, and they need to make One Oak a fortress. And that's what they've pretty much done with that, let's call it one proper defeat, wasn't it, against Sacramento Republic. So an interesting game, but take nothing for granted against a team that is bottom of the league.
And, you know, one thing that we took away from Vaught's interview on Monday was the fact that he was at least willing to admit that they were resting some players in the Reno game because he knew that this stretch was coming down, that you've got the Open Cup game coming up against San Antonio. I mean, all of the efforts are focused here this evening on Portland, but in resting some players because, as Vaught put it, look, it's an extremely long season. Obviously, it looks bad when you lose 4-0 on the road, but we're resting guys. And so the Roughnecks come in here this evening with everyone completely rested, for the most part, everyone completely healthy, to make this final push here from the month of May moving into the 1st of June before they have this 11-day span where they don't have any games.
Yeah, you and I were just talking about that, weren't we? You play the Open Cup on the 31st of May, and then you don't play until the 11th of June. So a good stretch of, you know, rest and good coaching can be done then in that period of time. And it's often been said, it is not a sprint, it is a marathon. And, you know, this season has got longer. We don't finish. We were even talking about that, weren't we, earlier on? It finishes on something like October 14th, 15th. So it's a long, long way to go, you know, and he has got a good squad of players. He's got players on loan, as we know, from the Chicago Fire. So it's blending everything together, and he's doing a fantastic job.
There you see some of the players as they make their way out of the locker room. You saw the autograph signing there of Bradley Bourgeois, and we've got some new faces that will make their debut for the Tulsa Roughnecks coming up here tonight. As a matter of fact, down from the Chicago Fire, there he is, Stephon Cleveland, who spent some time at Dartmouth, finished his career at the University of Louisville, and was selected in the second round by the Chicago Fire, making his debut here this evening. And he'll come in and have a go here this evening. Here's a look at T2 as they get set for tonight's matchup, trying to find a way to find the back of the net. You mentioned hadn't scored in 32 days, and then they score at Oklahoma City the other night. Is that kind of maybe that fire that has been lit now? Because sometimes it just takes one and you get on that momentum, and we'll find out here this evening whether or not that they can continue on from that game in Oklahoma City. And this is a side, even though they only are having 4 points on the season, as we get set to take a break here in one moment, we've been very impressed with them, and so has David Vaudreuil with the way that they have played so far leading up to it. So the results maybe haven't quite been there yet for T2. Still a very dangerous side, and the one thing that we will keep an eye on this evening is watch for them in the counterattack and watch how fast that they can get on it. All right, we're almost set for kickoff. When we come back, we'll run down the starting lineups for you and have the game live here this evening. Jeremy Poplin and Dave Saunders with you. We'll take a timeout and come back after this here on Tulsa Roughnecks Soccer.
Catch is made. Here comes Alley's throw to the plate, a strong one. He's out! What a throw by Stetson Alley. A tremendous catch and throw, double play.
All right, welcome back to One Oak Field as we get set to bring you the Tulsa Roughnecks taking on T2, the Portland Timbers 2. There's a look at the head coach, David Vaudreuil. The hair slicked back this evening, wearing the traditional suit jacket with the tie. Something tells me with the humidity that jacket may not stay on the entire evening. Coming up here tonight, the Roughnecks at 4-5-0 with 12 points total on the season, as he chats with Francisco Ugarte, who we will have a lengthy discussion about, coming off of his suspension after card accumulation. And coach was very upfront about the way that Francisco needs to approach his game moving forward, as he's had time now to adapt to the American version of this game. And it's been difficult for him, Francisco, to make that transition. Look at the head coach there of the T2, Andrew Greger, in his second season as head coach of T2, named T2 coach on January 6th, 2016, taking over the USL squad in their second season after serving as an assistant coach, and has been guiding the Timbers Academy under 16 and 18 sides in the U.S. Soccer Development Academy. Look at the squad tonight as we get set for this one here, and a very important one for Tulsa to to try to stem this 2-game losing streak that we've seen, Dave Saunders, from Sacramento and then at Reno. And I think it's a little unfortunate because both of them were kind of roller coaster rides. You had taking the early lead in Sacramento in the 7th minute. Off to the great start. Sacramento comes back to take the lead. You tie it up in the 67th and then give up the game winner on just a lack of marking, for better term, to Sacramento, and then to outplay Reno in the first half with a different formation that we'll talk about. Really try to take away the midfield of Reno, and then Reno adapted to it, got the PK, and before you knew it, that game was over. So it's been a bit of a frustrating last 2 road games for Tulsa.
Yeah, 2 frustrating defeats away from home. You know, when you play at home, you play in a different way. We'll be expecting Tulsa to go at the bottom side, Portland Timbers too. I think a key to the game tonight, Pop, are those 2 lads that we think are going to sit in the 4-2-3-1, and that's one Colin Fernandez and the number 31 Brant Bronico. They know each other well from the Fire days. I think they're key tonight. If they can be that shield in front of the 2 centre-backs, then you've got what we call a solid 4 there, the solid square, and that allows the likes of Kaffer to do his stuff in front of them. Key for me, those 2 players tonight for the Roughnecks.
There's a look at Stephon Cleveland. Joined the Roughnecks on loan from the Fire. 2nd round pick, 26th overall. 3 seasons at Dartmouth before transferring to Louisville for his senior season. The native of Dayton, Ohio. And this will mark his professional debut. As we are officially underway. Kickoff here at One Oak Field. Official weather forecast for tonight's match is provided by the News on 6 meteorologist Travis Meyer. Temperature at kickoff is 84 with the humidity 77%. It feels like 95 outside right before the sun starts to set here in downtown Tulsa.
Yeah, you and I had a little walk around the pitch, didn't we, about 2 hours before kickoff, and I was ready for a rest and a lie down because it really does, it's energy sapping.
It hits you like a wall, the humidity, and this is like the first true amount of humidity that we've had so far this season, so it'll be kind of a different feeling for both teams here tonight. There's an early foul, and Francisco Ugarte, who's back in action coming off of suspension. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. There's another foul that will stop the flow of play here, the early going. It's Corrales who hit the deck. See on the replay, there's Ugarte, who just went to switch to the opposite side of the field. A little clip there, and that's where Corrales went down. Tulsa quickly back to the opposite side of the pitch. Here's Kosuke Kaimura dribbling up and towards midfield. Nice to see Kosuke keeping the ball on his foot. Nice ball played forward, and the assistance flag is up here on the near side. That was Rivas, who was about a step off sides, but a brilliant ball from Kosuke, and we've seen a lot of that, and we've seen a lot of it from the opposite side with Corrales. Haven't seen a whole terribly lot of Kosuke keep that ball on the dribble and keep pressing forward, and looked very impressive there, did the veteran.
He certainly did, and he held on to that ball. You know, I thought it was a good hold, actually, and then, unfortunately, it allowed Rivas just to run offside. It was a close call, but the linesman made it, and but as you say, good play from Kosuke.
Hamilton dumps that ball into the box of Tulsa on the opposite end. Unable to clear. Now are the Roughnecks. Possession here towards the midfield. There's a shot from the outside, a deflection, and now they will settle for possession. Played centrally. There's Zemansky. And off of the Lewis attempt from the outside, we'll have our first corner coming up of the night.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good start to the game. Just 3 minutes gone, and again, as we often say, Both teams trying to play the game in the right way. The ball has not really left, the grass too much, and we like to see the ball played on the ground. But important here, you were talking earlier on about, keeping switched on. Let's hope they can keep switched on from defending this first corner.
Swings to the inside. Oh, there's a golden opportunity that's just missed by Williams there. Whiffed on that one, and you may not get a better ball that finds itself to you in that position in the middle of the box.
We'll just have a look at this because the ball comes in. Seven Tussin was back there defending, and it was the lad, I think he was up from the back there, didn't quite get anything on it, and Seven Tussin was just a couple of yards away. But here come the Roughnecks now with Kaffa.
Fernandez with the tackle to keep that one alive, sprays it to the outside and just over the top of the head of the Roughnecks players. Right idea though, and a throw-in coming up now for T2.
Yeah, Fernandez sliding in there. I alluded to him and Bronico. They're going to be key tonight to keep the team solid in front of those two centre backs of Ugarte and Mo Jadama.
Ball played wide there off of the angle.
And the linesman over on the far side has said that Cleveland has just let that one go out. So it's going to be a corner.
Cleveland thought that he had kept that one in before it went over the byline. The AR was down the line and immediately raised the flag.
Well, we wish Cleveland all the best, don't we? Because, it's all very well being an outfield player where you can kind of, make your debut and get into the game. But when you're a keeper, as we know, it's much, much more key. So a little bit of a nervous start. We hope he can come out and take this one out of the air, maybe.
Ball played in off the corner. Headed outside of the box. Roughnecks get to it first. And now a throw coming up for Kosuke.
Of course, Cleveland's in very, very good hands, isn't he? He's got Serda, he's got Byers, and of course one Mr. Ricketts, who's looking after the goalkeepers here. So I'm sure he's in very, very good hands.
A look at Bronico as well, who's down from Chicago. This was his second appearance now for the Roughnecks. He started and played 90 minutes in their 4-0 win back on May 13th. Ayala on the deck, and the referee comes over and tries to take control of this one here from the beginning. Our referee tonight, Lucas Spala, Roy Robinson, one assistant, Wade Beal the other, and Jeremy Crockett is our fourth. Here's the ever dangerous Kaffa. Curling ball towards the back post. Jadama may have got a piece of it, tried to head it backwards. Ballou in the vicinity, but Williams is able to track back, and a good fight there from Fernandez to create a turnover there and towards midfield.
And you know how much I admire that young man Fernandez, and you see what he did there, Pop. He's playing as one of those middle two, but he has to come across and do all that work that nobody else wants to do, and he did it really well on the right wing there, Colin Fernandez.
Ugarte, whose first touch almost got away from him there for a brief second. Roughnecks save, however. Kaffa. Jadama dribbling up past midfield. Still keeping it on his foot. Finds Kaffa. Kaffa now head up immediately, looking to play that ball wide. Just comes off of one of the defenders, and no trouble whatsoever for Wade Hamilton, the native of Redlands, California. 6'2". Played 90 minutes in his fourth start of the season against OKC on the 24th of this month. Earned his second shutout, 3 saves against Colorado on May 10th. That was the, I believe, 11:30 start for T2 against Colorado. Oh, nice play from Brady Ballou to step in to win that ball. Brady thought that he was held back there.
I think he had a bit of a case as well. I think an arm went across him, just delayed his run a little bit because he's pretty quick, and he's saying to the AR, did you not see that? But on we go.
Bronico with the touch, was selected by the Fire in the 3rd round, 47th overall of the 17 Super Draft. The low line-driven ball from Rivas looking for Sventussen.
Yeah, Batista had to volley that one away. 3 dangerous balls have come in from the left foot of Rivas. Well, I was going to say here's another one. That's gone out. And 2 from Kaffa. So good game plan. Good balls being played into the box, but as yet no shot on goal or header on goal for the Roughnecks.
Rivas will have a better effort coming up a little bit later. Been very impressive as Joaquin Rivas. Spent some time in Sacramento, UNLV as well. Rivas on Wednesday, that was the first time that he failed to start a match so far for the Roughnecks. Second half sub, played 32 minutes for Tulsa. Little possession game here for T2. There's Lewis. Has it outside. Looking back in the box one more time for Lewis. Lewis did collect that, had his back to the goal there, and just a little bump there by the defender to cause that first touch to go by the wayside and over the byline. And the Roughnecks, good defending there, have a goal kick here as we are in the 10th minute.
Yeah, good defending from Mo Jadama there, just putting the player off. But they're a neat little side, Portland Timbers do. They're not to be underestimated.
Coach Vaught was very complimentary of them and said you cannot look at their results this season and describe the type of team that they are. Said that they've been unfortunate in many instances. I thought could have scored a goal early. 15 minutes in on Colorado. There should be a handball, yes.
And also, Pop, you got to remember this is a team, as I've already alluded to, that went to Sacramento and won 2-0. So, you know, it's early days as well, isn't it? They've only played 11 games. Okay, they've lost 8 times, but, you know, they are still, you know, very much in it like everybody else.
6 total goals on the season for T2. Look to see if they can take advantage and strike here early. And that ball is heavy off of the foot. Goal kick now for Cleveland.
Yeah, it's nice for Cleveland. He's got a couple of goal kicks here, settled himself into the game on his debut. The man wearing all yellow tonight. And it's important, as we said, for a keeper on his debut to get a good feel of the ball, get the gloves that wrapped around the ball, have a couple of kicks like this one up towards Brady Ballou. That's going to be a throw into the Roughnecks, which Brady will take himself, and Cleveland can settle himself into the game.
Speaking of settling himself into the game, Brady Ballou has done that and has earned over the last couple of weeks quite a few minutes for someone that took him a bit of time to kind of adapt to the new system from Coach Vaught. And very complimentary of Brady was Coach Vaught, and the minutes have clearly helped. And that's the overall discussion that you could have at pretty much any level, especially in this league. These young men for T2 here, including Zemansky, trying to just get minutes underneath them. And you see how beneficial that having a number of minutes can be, as Tulsa now has an opportunity here. Rivas has that one deflected off. It'll be a corner now coming up for the Roughnecks. But it's all about minutes and getting that experience.
It is, Pop. And also you used a word that is absolutely spot on for me, and it's with Brady Ballou, is earned minutes. Because, you know, it wasn't easy for him. He had to sit on the bench to start with. Then he came on impressed just for a few minutes, and he's got minutes, as you said, and now he's been picked to start this game.
Kaffa. Jadama was in a group there. Francisco Ugarte was up off the back line as well. Zemansky, also Williams back to help defend inside the box for T2. Tulsa turned away. And, you know, we've mentioned this before, but I know it's a different type of system that we see in 2017 compared to the 2015 version of when Brady Ballou was a rookie. But I see more of that confidence in Brady this year relating back to 2015 and the way that he looked when he was a candidate for Rookie of the Year.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, and he's, it's a much, much different team. He's got different teammates around him, a different style of football, and he's fitted in really, really well. And he's benefiting from the likes of Kaffa being alongside him, and putting him in. So let's hope he can do it. A great popular lad, of course.
Boy, Hansen had acres of space out there wide. There's a shot that goes just to the opposite side of the post. So Portland there had a look and decided to test the young goalkeeper here in the early going. And really no immediate danger there for Cleveland as we are in the 14th.
Yeah, no danger here. Here's the shot, but it's well wide of the target. No save for Cleveland to make. Just, want to say fantastic listen, by the way, if you've not heard the Pop and Vod show, because words that I said to Pop.
Sweeping the nation.
Yeah.
The Pop and Vod show.
Yeah, well, it's great. And I'll tell you what, if you want to hear two honest guys going at it, then please tune into that. Pop, I was saying to you how honest an assessment you get from Coach Vods. He says, he knows when they don't play well. He knows what they've got to work on. He's a top coach and a top man for being honest.
Kosuke. Here's Brandt, little shove down from behind. Zemansky now dribbling up towards midfield. Boy, Zemansky's just been unfortunate as he draws a foul. Had the season-ending injury towards the end of 15. Came back, thought that he was 100% healthy. Has kind of had little nicks and bruises there. Seems to have fallen out of favor now with the parent club. And now trying to come back down here to T2, get some minutes. Played in Oklahoma City the other night. I know that he, at times, has been frustrated and felt like that when he came back from the ACL injury that he was full go. And just, boy, sometimes you just get snake bitten during those portions of your career and you just can't find a way to stay healthy. And I know that he's a guy that wants to work and train hard to try to get back out there, and he's back down with T2 here, getting some minutes in this Oklahoma swing for Portland.
And sometimes you just have to work hard. That's all you can do. You get a knockback, like you said, maybe coming back too early, or it's just an unlucky second injury, and all you can do is get your head down and work on in the gym and also, out on the field when you get that chance.
Clark now. Lazy ball there from Clark. It's picked off. Here's Rivas. Rivas has options. Svensson leaves it for there. There's Bronico. There's Kaffa off the post. Unable to finish. Off of the bounce comes to Brady. Brady with the left foot. And I believe that shot from Brady actually deflected off Bronico for a last second there. But Tulsa denied by the post, as we'll see the replay.
Well, the ball came to Kaffa there, and he just swung his foot at it. Here it is. There's Bronico. Comes off the defender. Hits it with his left foot.
And there's a goal on the opposite end as we were seeing the replay. And it's Rivas who ends up finishing this one off for the Roughnecks. And let the orange smoke fill the stadium here at One Oak. And in the 17th minute, Tulsa finds themselves on the board with the goal from Joaquin Rivas.
Well, you mentioned Rivas earlier on in the commentary. Fantastic for him. He's done so well this season. He gets the goal. But Kosuke went across to Corrales and congratulated him. A big hug. But there's Kosuke, look, just running back. And that's fantastic for the Roughnecks. They were so close with, as we were looking at the replay of Kaffa hitting the post. And there's Rivas getting his goal. He gets a handshake from the coach. And that's really good. After 17 minutes, it's a goal for the Roughnecks. And there he is, Joaquin Rivas.
Well, that's good for Rivas because both of us have been rooting for him. He's been close a couple of times here, as you see on the replay. And let the celebration begin. And Brady picks one off towards midfield. Kind of feel a little bit of momentum. That ball unable to find Ian there wide. Ian, though, tracking back, knocks that one down.
Ian Seventusson having to work hard tonight. He's not had many balls into his feet. He's, the lone striker, if you like, in this 4-2-3-1. He's working hard, though, for the team and creating space and trying to hold the ball up whenever he can. And it allows the likes of Rivas to come through the middle and score like he did. So, well done, Roughnecks. 1-0, 17, coming up 18 minutes gone. And Rivas with the goal, and it was a popular goal. All the bench were up then.
Yeah.
The coach was up. It's a popular goal.
Well, it's the first goal of the season for Rivas, who coming into tonight had 7 shots on target. Boy, we thought that he was going to have one of those. What, at RGV, I believe. There's the replay. Had a great attempt at RGV. As to the opposite end now, we'll have a corner. Low driven ball off the deflection. And Rivas sends this one out of the danger area for now. Roughnecks trying to track back. That's Hansen that settled it. Directly in front of the bench, Zemansky. Dribbling center of the pitch. Sends this across all the way across the back line. Here's Batista. Nice run there towards the corner. Bodily was challenging Jadama there. And Modu, first substitute appearance for him on Wednesday. He had been a starter in all other appearances in which he had been eligible.
Just looking at the goal again, it was fantastic play from Corrales, and in the end it was a shot from Rivas through the legs of the defender.
Off the corner. Cleared out of the box.
You just got to be careful. I always say it, when you've scored a goal, you're at your most vulnerable defensively. It's a strange thing, having watched football for many years. But why that happens, I don't know. It's whether you think, you know, you just feel you can relax a bit or whatever it is, but you've got to be so careful. And the coach will want, you know, 5 or 10 minutes here where we just, here's the goal again, look, pop, and there's wonderful from Corrales. That is the best ball in football, to pull the ball back like that, and then Rivas does the rest through the legs of the defender. Sometimes you hit the post like Kafa did, sometimes you get lucky through the legs of a defender. But a great pull back from Corrales. That's great from the left back.
We had been talking about Corrales and how far that he's pushed forward. Hadn't seen it yet quite so far tonight. We mentioned Kosuke, but there's Corrales one more time, and it shows you. And Coach Vaught wants those outside backs to push up far. And you have to know your responsibility at that point. It takes a lot of communication amongst everyone else. And we've seen at the time where the midfielder will drop back and take over for that spot. But boy, that is an area where Corrales has been extremely dangerous so far this season.
Well, the modern game, you know, anywhere you go and watch football in the world now, a left and right back are almost playing as wing backs.
You're exactly right.
Up and back. And, you know, I say it again, in the middle there, you've got the 2 centre backs, and then you've got the 2 midfielders right in front of them. It's a block of 4 that holds it glues the team together. And as you quite rightly point out, it allows the left and right backs to go forward. But those 2 in the middle, which is Fernandez and Bronico, have to do extra work on the wings.
You're exactly right. And when those outside backs move forward like that, not only does it create pressure for those 2 in the middle, speaking from a guy that used to play in the middle on the back line, that's where your responsibility comes in there, to be able to point out in all the directions of traffic and exactly where you want people to slot in and help behind. The extra communication it takes when those guys are moving forward, I mean, you have to make sure the center of your defense and your center mids are all in the exact same form with each other.
Absolutely, and they practice it, I'm sure, every single day. And I say again, with the 2 lads from Chicago Fire who know each other, you know, Bronico and Fernandez, that's a really good understanding they've got in the middle there. And that, I pointed out before the whistle even went, I think is the key to the game tonight. It allows those, I don't want to say flair players, but you know what I'm talking about, the likes of Kafa, you know, and Rivas to do their stuff, Brady Ballou, and then support the big number 19 tonight, Ian Seven-Tussin.
We got a little bit of a preview not last Wednesday, but 2 weeks ago during the Open Cup, when Tulsa defeated the PDL side, Oklahoma City Energy, of a formation that we hadn't necessarily seen before. And here's Kafa, pulls it back for just a brief moment. Ian with a nice run, tackled there off the ball. Referee quickly out to address. That's Clark.
Well, if I can jump in there, Pop, you would have been proud of that when you played, you know, and I played with central defenders who would, you know, we'd all be saying, fantastic tackle, fantastic tackle. But in this game, we'll watch it here, look, there, I think he, you know, people will argue, you know, a few years ago, that's a great tackle, and the coach says great. But this day and age, the referee's going to blow the whistle. No question.
That's a tough one. You start tugging at the old defender heartstrings on that one, because he got ball first, got a piece of the ball, and then got the player with the follow through on it. Like you said, a few years ago, I still don't have a problem with that tackle at all. The problem with this, though, is that this puts you in such a tough spot, because this is where Kaffa's at his best. And how much of a dangerous aspect to the Roughnecks attack has he been in situations exactly like this? That's there in the header. Oh, Hamilton with a great save. Well, that's Ugarte that came up. Oh, can you ask for a better ball? And now a PK.
Well, Ugarte caught that one really, really well with his head, didn't he? It was a good save from Hamilton. And then on the follow-up, Ugarte swung his foot at that one, and that is, well, again, we'll have to look at that one, because, again, as a defender, could the defender get out the way? Being totally neutral on this one. Let's look at it. We've got the benefit of a replay.
Great ball and header there from Kaffa and Ugarte.
Now, Ugarte here controls, will swing left-footed. Make your mind up, folks. Make your mind up. But here's Kaffa to make it 2-0, hopefully left-footed.
We see Ugarte. Kaffa now sends it in. And Tulsa has the 2-0 lead from Juan Pablo Kaffa. And they're not going to let him catch the Midnight Rider.
Well, Kaffa there, you know, you don't expect him to miss from any free kick just in and outside the box, let alone 12 yards out from the penalty spot. There was a defender there saying that they thought a couple of Tulsa players had crept into the box. We got a Timbers 2 defender coming across to the AR, but the important thing is, when all's said and done, here's Juan Pablo Kaffa there just sending the keeper the wrong way, and it's 2-0 Roughnecks.
Well, this is the start that you felt like that Tulsa needed coming off of that road trip.
I think if I can make a comment on the handball, I think the defender, when the ball's blasted from, 4 or 5 yards away and it hits your arm, I think I'm just going to say that's very unlucky for the defender. But having said that, you know, sometimes you make your own luck. We've had things go against the Roughnecks. That one's gone against Timbers too. And it means that Kaffa can score the second goal, and the Roughnecks have a little bit of daylight with 26 minutes gone.
Kaffa with the celebration goes over to the fans. Here's Ballou, center circle. Kaffa, right ball played, looking for Bronico. Trying to take on too many defenders. There's Brandt. A win by Fernandez. Ian. Oh, Rivas had to pull up. He had taken about 3 steps offsides. There's a ball that's through. Keeper calls for it. Holds off Kosuke.
Yeah, and you mentioned Kosuke there. I was just watching in there. He's alert to the danger, running in from his right back roll. Here's the penalty. Excuse me, I was looking at the penalty again, and Kaffa there can just put it wherever he wants to, and wrong-footed the keeper. That's a foul with the lad getting the wrong side there. That was the number 46. That's Bijev, who's found it difficult to get into the game.
Kaffa did not have to oversell that one. You know, there's been 2 cards for dissent from Juan Pablo Kaffa after arguing with the center. And one of those was during the penalty kick from Reno on Wednesday. And those have the tendency to add up over time. Here's a look.
It's just what we expect from the great man, isn't it? A quality finish. That's a foul, and Fernandez could be in bit trouble. Yeah, the referee, yellow card was out there as he ran up to Fernandez.
Yeah, you could see that one.
I don't know if going back to Kaffa, has Kaffa got 3 yellows now on the season, Pop? I'm trying to think. They're mounting up a little bit, aren't they? But we certainly don't want to lose him. Free kick, though. Fernandez goes into the book. And a chance for Timbers 2 to get this ball into the box. Everybody back for the Roughnecks.
Szymanski standing over towards the penalty spot, headed out of the box. Quick throw in for Portland. Szymanski in. They will start from the back with Hansen. Hansen now sets itself up into a cross. Cleveland comes out to take that away in front of one of the T2 players who is down inside the box holding his back. And now Cleveland resting over the top of the ball as well.
Well, that'll make Cleveland feel a lot better. He's telling everybody, I'm all right. I mean, that is a great, great catch for the young man on his debut there. Just a little blowing the hair out there. But he took a bit of a knock, but he's done well. And that'll make him feel really, really good.
Yeah, that was Bijev that came across and gave him that little knock.
Interesting tussle up front for Seven Tussin. He's 6'6", and he's up against the 2 centre backs. I was just having a look at the 6'4" and 6'5". So if any balls go into the air, you would expect 2-on-1 there to win that one. And that's why we say Ian Seven Tussin is very. It's deceiving for defenders because he's very good with his feet, isn't he?
Ian coming off a bit of rest from the road trip as well. See him back in the starting 11 here this evening. Coach talked about, that combination between Ian, what you have with Christian Mata, and also Pasha. And Pasha's kind of that guy that's that third guy right now, but very willing to admit that, hey, sooner rather than later, it's going to be his turn in the rotation for Pasha. And Pasha had those 2 goals at the University of Tulsa in the Open Cup match against the PDL side. Under 23s from the Oklahoma City Energy. And it just have to be about waiting and being patient. Sometimes that's not the easiest thing to do. Ball sprayed, kept in play there towards the corner. Cross, and Cleveland has it easy.
Yeah, and again, 2 nice catches for Cleveland there, and that one he was unopposed. Just going back to Pasha, with respect to the opposition in that Open Cup game, he still has to score the goals, and he scored a couple of great goals on that night, and I thought he looked very, very good. And like you say, you'll just have to wait. That's what success in a team brings, isn't it? You have to wait your opportunity, and when you get it, Pop, you have to take it.
Boy, that looked a tad bit nasty there. I don't know if we could see a replay of that, but it looked like, at least from our angle, it looked like he took a knee in the back. Watch this. Well, maybe not quite as bad as I thought it was. Still a foul, though.
Veronica won't mind. He's one of those tenacious players, isn't he, that is in there to win the ball. As we said, there he is again, in there to win the ball and lay it off simple.
Good patience there from Rivas and also Fernandez. Jadama, Corrales as Blue there showing to the outside. There's a rare giveaway from Kaffa, who tracks back defensively now to the outside bodily.
And that's good to see Kaffa do that, isn't it? He gave the ball away. He wants to get it back.
Another interesting aspect about this T2 side is the fact, Dave, that even though only 6 goals on the year, 4 points, they have consistently been one of the league leaders in completed passes and also possession.
They certainly know how to knock it around, don't they? It's just there's no end product. I mean, I was looking at the goal they scored at OKC, and it was just one threaded ball through and then a sort of curled shot round Lorende in the OKC goal. They're not without spirit, they're not without passion, and they're not without building, and that's a rare long ball forward from them there, from Szymanski. But, they know how to knock the ball around. But they need a goal now to get themselves back in this game. Preferably from their point of view before half-time. Obviously, from the Roughnecks' point of view, They would love a third before halftime, or at least to go in at 2-0 up.
Soccer fans, Nike is the official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Quickly to the opposite end, cutting in front of Jadama. There's a shot that Cleveland had the post covered up. Be a goal kick now coming up for the Roughnecks. Good work there in the middle of the pitch by T2 to create that opportunity.
Yeah, it was Bijev, wasn't it? He got the ball really in between the back four and the midfield two of the Roughnecks there. Got some space, twisted, turned, here he is, got in there, look behind those middle two, comes onto his left foot, curls a shot here from just outside the D. Fair play to Cleveland. I think he had that covered, and it was just wide.
You can stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 Eastern on Sirius XM FC Channel 85. Also, don't forget Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. You can check USLsoccer.com for dates and times.
Wonderful play there from Brady Blue, putting in Corellis there. Corellis said, come on, go towards goal. He pulled the ball back. Good header away from the defender. Roughnecks still on the attack.
Kaffa, Kosuke, plenty of time now. Cuts back towards the inside. Fernandez. Square ball from Fernandez was behind Brady Blue, and on the run now, here comes T2 into the box. Bijev. And Bijev slots that one in under the rookie goalkeeper, Stefan Cleveland. And on the counterattack, which we mentioned in the lead-up, is where T2 has been their most dangerous so far, and how quickly that they can change that gear. And now they've pulled within one in the goal in the 35th minute.
Wonderful goal from Bijev, and I think he's been the pick of the Timbers 2 team so far. Here's the goal. It'll be a threaded ball down the right-hand side. Bijev now. Jadama comes across. He eludes that challenge. Cleveland now will be beaten on his near post. No goalkeeper likes to be beaten on the near post, but credit the finish of Bijev. And now we have a game on, Pop, with 10 minutes to go to half-time. It's the Roughnecks 2, the Timbers 2, 1. I'll get my ones and twos right in a minute.
And that was all started, too, on the break there from Mohammed, who got things started quickly. Baloo had to get on his horse to save that one. Could not track it down in enough time. Goal kick now for T2. But you saw there the quick turn from Mohammed, who played forward for Bijev.
Yes, quality assist there, wasn't it? You're right, from Omar Mohammed there, the number 44. Just tactically now for David Vodrell's men. Brady Baloo has gone to the left of the three in behind Seven Tussin, and Rivas, the goal scorer of the first goal, has gone to the right. Just a little switch there, and they did that in the last home game, didn't they? And it seemed to plug a few gaps. Got a head injury here, Pop. But, yeah, some game on now, isn't it? And, you know, if you're a Timbers 2 fan tuning in, your team have got themselves back into this one, and it's always a good time to score just before half-time. We've still got 9 minutes to go. It's been an entertaining, action-packed 36 minutes, and you'd be a brave fan here to you know, predict the outcome of this game at this stage. You'd say the Roughnecks were totally in control at 2-0. Maybe they got a bit lucky with the penalty shout, you know, but they seem to be in control. But credit this side who came into this game bottom of the league. They've really come back at the Roughnecks in the last 10 or so minutes.
Portland has never lost here at Tulsa. They've won all three previous meetings, 5-1 at One Oak Field in 2 contests. And we talked about them having the goal here this evening and one in OKC. Tied for 5th in accuracy, but just finishing on 7.5% of their chances coming into tonight's match.
Yeah, and I don't know if they've got in many positions like Bijev did, but that was a quality finish from the young man.
And it's not just T2 that's had their struggles as well. Parent Club has had their struggles and continued on today in the Seattle match. As a matter of fact, the Timbers scored 16 goals in their first 6 games when they went 4-1-1. They've scored just 6 goals now in their last 8 games and are 1-5-2.
Yeah, it was a bit. I watched a bit of that game. It was a bit of a struggle, wasn't it, for the Portland Timbers today, going down 1-0 against their fiercest rivals, Seattle Sounders.
That Cascadia rivalry.
Of course, that was after I'd come back from watching the Cup final, which you haven't mentioned yet, Pop.
I was going to allow you to weave that one in, kind sir.
Good game. I think Arsenal surprised Chelsea. But we had a chat with our friends down there, the Roughnecks fans, who are big Chelsea fans, and you know, the game, the English Premier League is very, very popular in Tulsa, folks. I can tell you that now.
Yeah, that's Marlowe. Remember the La Union 918?
You were careful how you said La Union then, weren't you? Because he told us to get it right.
Here's, nice move from Joaquin. Joaquin, just missed. Oh, the footwork for Joaquin Rivas.
Well, I want to see that bit of skill again. That was almost like a little jump with the ball, wasn't it? To make that effort on goal, and then the curl shot just wide. I'm hoping we're going to get a replay of that, because outstanding skill from Rivas. He's having a great game tonight. Let's watch this, Pop. Now, what trick does he pull here? Look at that. Just a little dink over the defender. Folks, if you're watching that wasn't a trip. That was deliberate. That was a fantastic bit of skill, and he was just wide with his curling right foot shot.
Out of his box is Cleveland.
Ugarte thinking he got a bit of a push from Williams there into the keeper, but just got to keep things calm. Ugarte, of course, he sat out the last game, the Reno game, didn't he, on 5 yellows. That's all wiped clean now, and you said, as we watch another attack, as Rivas comes forward, what's he got here? He wins the throw-in. And as you said, you know, Coach Vodds was saying about learning the USL League and the way that referees ref the games. You know, you would have thought it's universal, wouldn't you, across the world? But, you know, he played in Germany and elsewhere, and it is different. And he's picked up 5 yellows.
More importantly, I think not only does it force the way to change the way you play. There's Svensson, and put 3 on the board now as he beats the keeper Hamilton on the lofted ball inside the box, and that was just pure effort there.
Well, I tell you what, Ian Seventusson, when you're 6'6", why not use it to your advantage? And he certainly did there. I talked about the 2 defenders, Pop, who were 6'4" and 6'5", but that was a delightful ball assist into the box. We'll see it now. Here it is. That's Jadama's ball. Look at that run from Seventusson. Has an eye on the keeper, does nothing wrong with the keeper, and just gets his head there and says, thank you very much. We'll have that one 3-1, and that's a great time to score. And again, there's a 2-goal deficit now.
That ball just hung in the air in just the correct amount of time for Ian to get to it.
Well, I don't know how many assists Jadama's got on the season, but I would suggest that might be the first. And as you said, that just hung in the air. It was the perfect weight, wasn't it? And Seventusson just ran in behind the defence. No question of offside. And he just wanted it more than the keeper. The keeper, difficult for the keeper there to come out and win that one.
Tulsa not finished here. Blue. Run from Kosuke. Back for Fernandez. Fernandez has a bit of time here. Tries to dump that one in towards the area of Ian. This is where Portland's been dangerous, winning those balls at midfield. Andre Lewis. That one's behind him there. Bijev unable to connect with Lewis. Lewis now trying to fight back to get that and has earned a foul. You can stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 Eastern on Sirius XMFC Channel 85. Don't forget, they'll also air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. Jeremy Popland and Dave Saunders with you, coming to you from the Bank of Oklahoma broadcast booth here at One Oak Field. 3-1 with the Roughnecks in the lead. Here's a dead run from Kaffa. Kaffa steps over towards the corner of the 18, leaves it there for Ian. And Ian just had that one knocked away from him at the last moment. Kaffa trying to battle back now, and a foul as you saw Mohammed spin down on the turf.
Do you know what, Pop? It's caught us both out here. I saw Corrales walking away. He must have had an injury.
Yes.
I think Dekovic.
It's Dekovic who has been subbed on.
And he's just been talked to by the referee, getting up to the speed of the game. But Corrales there, that's unfortunate for him because he's been fantastic in this first half. Must have been an injury, a pull or something. I mean, he didn't look too disappointed, but certainly not enough for him to be able to carry on.
They subbed him out on the goal celebration from Ian.
And Dekovic has gone to left back where Corrales was. I'm not sure Dekovic has played too many games at left back, but he's doing a job for the team here.
Williams working there, cuts back across. Jazama staying with him. Bija. Zemansky. Contact there and towards the top of the box. Referee says play on. That was Hansen.
Well, that's a great throw out from Cleveland.
Perfect outlet.
Yeah.
Kaffa, 1v1 now. Tries to cut back to the inside, just got past him in enough time. Ian's there, the header. Oh, great save from Hamilton. Still not out of the danger area yet. Skied in the air as Kaffa will try to bring this one down, shielding off of one of the T2 players, and Williams will just try to bang it towards the opposite end of the field. Oh, a little nice ball there from Kaffa to set Ian up for the header.
Do you know what? I just run out of superlatives for this man. If you look at this, the way, okay, he gets a bit lucky there, but look at that ball there. He knew exactly where Seven Tussin was, and that's a fine save. It did not go over the line, but again, Kaffa just can pick a player out at will.
Ian challenged Hamilton one more time. There's Kaffa calling for it here on this side, settles it with a foot. Tracks it back down for a second. Left-footed cross, it's there.
And Ian Seven Tussin, who's only got one boot on, has to put it on. He was holding it in his hand. And again, Kaffa with a fantastic curling ball in there, but this time credit the defender, Batista, who is just giving up an inch to Ian Seven Tussin.
We've got 1 minute, by the way, of stoppage time that's been added on.
And I think, you know, if you're Coach Vaudreuil, you go in there reasonably happy. I don't think, you know, he'll be 100% happy because of the goal that they gave up. But, you know, 3-1. Now, really important they come out in the second half, as we often say, you know, and try and put this one away in the second half.
Kaffa. Cleared out of the box there from Hansen, and that will end the first half with Tulsa leading 3-1 as Kaffa, you see there walking off, getting congratulated by his teammates on his play here in the first half. Sven Tussin scored a goal here late in the 42nd minute. Earns a bit of a shower there from the bottle. And Tulsa now will take their traditional huddle here in the center of the pitch before they head into the locker room.
Yeah, satisfactory first half, I think. Seven Tussin, you know, I was going to say putting the icing on the cake, but I don't think it really is. Not yet, anyway.
All right, standing by with the head coach, Dave Vaudreuil, is Paige Martin. And take it away, Paige, with the Roughnecks leading 3-1.
Corrales, which is good. So the only real question mark is when Corrales overlaps on the left, we don't cover his spot, and they score a goal down his side. So, you know, all in all, a very good half, but it would have been much better if we had gotten have the shutout still.
And your team is up right now with the 2-goal lead. What are you going to go in there at halftime and tell your team to keep them centered and focused for the next 45 minutes?
You know, it's about mental toughness. We've had 6 games already, you know, in this short stretch. It's hot and humid out. I know both teams are feeling it. Those guys have been on the road too, so it's being real smart tactically, good positioning, don't leave ourselves exposed, and we've got to be good with the ball. If the more we make them chase here in this half of the field, the more difficult it'll be for them. But we can't let them off the hook, and we can't make any mistakes and give them an easy goal to get them back in the game.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck next half.
Catch is made. Here comes Alley's throw to the plate, a strong one. He's out! What a throw by Stetson Alley. A tremendous catch and throw, double play.
All right, welcome back to halftime here at One Oak Field. Jeremy Poplin and Dave Saunders with you. You see the shot there from downtown Tulsa, where tonight the Roughnecks are taking on T2. Coming in from Portland in this Oklahoma road trip, playing on Wednesday night in Oklahoma City, and then here coming in tonight with the humidity. You heard Coach Vaudreuil there at halftime talk about how humidity is kind of wreaking havoc with both teams. Both teams are having to deal with it here tonight. It's probably the most humid temperatures that we've had. It felt like 95 when we had kickoff here. And Tulsa, coming off of 2 straight losses on the road, really needed to get off to a good quick start, and that's exactly what happened, Dave Saunders.
They did. 2 defeats. They had to hit the ground running today, and they certainly did, and it wasn't long before we had our first opportunity on goal.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, we'll take a look at some of the highlights that happened from the first half here this evening, and we'll get things started here first. And it was T2 that had the shot from outside. Really no trouble there for Cleveland whatsoever. But here's the first goal of the night, and it's by someone that we've talked about quite a bit, Rivas, who finally got his first goal in a Roughneck uniform.
Yeah, Rivas with the goal, and it was a penalty from Kaffa that put them 2-0 up, and he just places it wherever he wants to. 2-0 at that point, but the Timbers did come back, to be fair.
Yeah, they did. Here's Bijev. Look at the patience there from Bijev, who cuts back to his left, sends it there. Now, Cleveland had that one covered up here towards the back post, but here's the counter that we talked about where we feel that T2 is the most dangerous, and Bijev here just beats the young keeper there towards the front post. I know he was upset with himself at that moment, but that's when they were able to pull back within one. Look at that move. We thought that one was going to be another goal for Joaquin, and here's Jajama playing the ball over the top.
Great assist, and there's Ian Seventas, and all 6'6" of him. slotting home, beating the keeper there, and still we weren't finished. Here's Kaffer.
Look at that ball. An incredible save. Hey, give credit to Hamilton for making that save, because that right there, you give up that one 4-1 at half. It's really not that much to come out of the locker room at halftime for at that point, but kept them off the board, but still Kaffer with another brilliant ball, and Ian just missing out.
We marvel at the man, the number 10
Yes.
Kaffer, because he seems to be able to put the ball wherever he wants to, and that ball from his, I think it was his right foot, to the far post to Ian Seventussin. Ian did everything he could. Great header, but as you say, give credit to the keeper.
Yeah, what more can the man do?
Well, we'll find out. I mean, he needs to perform in the second half, Pop. We're not there yet, are we? But he's great. He's great for the team.
Yeah, Coach Vaudreuil said you cannot let Portland off the hook. Got to keep up the pressure here, keep the ball away from them, and make this young team run and chase in the second half, leading at 3-1. All right, let's take a timeout, and when we come back, we got a special package with Coach Vaudreuil talking about how his past performance kind of led him to here to be the head coach of the Tulsa Roughnecks. Great shot of downtown. We'll be back after this.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
The USL's all-time leading scorer has added another accolade to his resume.
Here's Kelly. And he's got the hat trick! Dane Kelly has done it again! Back-to-back games. 3 goals for Kelly.
Dane Kelly is now the only player in USL history to score back-to-back hat tricks. Kelly notched his first 3-goal game in Reno's first win in club history.
Carries the ball ahead into an attacking position. He scored in the 2nd minute.
Together before they get another goal.
Brown Kelly, that's 2 in 6 minutes. Kelly, he steps over and he puts it in off the post. That is a hat trick in the 66th minute.
The second occurred in front of a home crowd, leading Reno to their first ever win at Greater Nevada Field.
Brent Richards finds Kelly, and Dane Kelly! Goal! Kelly finds net again! Here's Kelly. And he's got the hat trick! Dane Kelly has done it again.
Kelly was honored with 2 USL Player of the Week recognitions following his back-to-back performances. For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
Here is my...
MLS didn't start until I was 30, so we had indoors, outdoors, every alphabet soup league you can imagine, and played in probably 13, 14 cities if you want to count them all, be exact. The 2 championships in DC, the MLS Cups, were probably the highlight and the most exciting. So MLS Cup final that in '97, first of all, was at RFK, so that was amazing. I think the most people they've ever had in there for an event, with standing room up there. I think they had about almost 59,000 people. We were live on ABC TV, which was pretty exciting, and it was just an exciting game. It was a tough, close game. I think we were the better team, but if you look at the game, you're like, wow, they had a lot of chances. They could have easily scored 2 or 3 goals as well, and made it a different outcome. But it was just a dream season, for me personally and for the team. I think everyone thinks that team plus 1 or 2 others got to be considered the best teams ever in the league, and play such a big part of that whole playoff run was cool. As a right back, I had 5 assists in 5 games and got named best player in my position in the league, after the season was over. So it was a great year. You couldn't ask for a better year. And as far as an American soccer player, other than playing a World Cup, I think you have to be, pretty much as good as it gets.
The early days of MLS. You saw there DC United holding up the trophy. First of all, I forgot how spectacular Jaime Moreno's hair was, dyeing it completely blonde like that. But what an incredible team that was. David Vaudreuil talking about some of his experiences with DC United and how much fun that he had. And I think he's right. That may be one of the better MLS sides that's been assembled since the league has been started those number of years ago. Quick thoughts before we get set for the second half on what the Roughnecks need to do.
Well, I think if you're Coach Vaudreuil down in the locker room, you'd say we need to score the next goal. I mean, it's an obvious thing to say. You want to be 4-1 rather than 3-2, 4-1, and then you go and kill it off. Keep playing the way you are. Don't give up easy, simple goals, and they should go through. They should go through and win this, but the next goal is vital.
Yeah, Roughnecks with the 3-1 lead here at halftime at One Oak Field. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we've got the second half for you coming up next. I'm Jeremy Poplin. That's Dave Saunders, and you're watching Tulsa Roughnecks Soccer.
Catch is made. Here comes Alley's throw to the plate, a strong one. He's out! What a throw by Stetson Alley. A tremendous catch and throw, double play.
All right, welcome back. Tulsa Roughnecks Soccer. Jeremy Poplin, Dave Saunders with you, coming to you live from downtown Tulsa. as we are almost set for the second half with Tulsa leading 3-1 here at One Oak. Tulsa trying to improve to 15 points on the season if they can maintain this 3-1 lead that they have built here at halftime. Let's take a look at some of the halftime numbers possession-wise in favor of Portland, 52% to 47%. We're even in aerial duels. Tulsa has 9 interceptions to 4 for T2. On the attack, Tulsa with the 3 goals on 10 shots. 6 of those have been on target. 1 goal for Portland on 7 shots, and only 1 of those has been on target so far. So 60% accuracy for Tulsa and 10 shots in the box, which I think tells the absolute difference in this game so far. As a matter of fact, that goal from Bijev, coming into tonight, they'd only had 2 goals inside the box on the entire season. Actually, I'd take that back, 3 inside the box. Tulsa here winning near midfield. Trying to lay that one back for Dekovic. Bronico fighting here. Trying to win back deep. That's Mohammed, who had most of the ball. Hansen now from almost midfield. Tracked there by Rivas. Ian tries to lay the ball back for Rivas, unable to do so. Nice back heel, finds Ian. Ian now trying to take on the entire defense, it seems, and boy, just a wall that was directly there in front of him, and tough to fight your way through 2 defenders like that, Dave.
Yeah, very tough. Seven Tussin trying to go around the defender. Very difficult to do that, but shows that he's a confident young man. He's in form, and he scored a goal tonight, the 3rd one just before half-time. That's a great ball now to bring in Rivas.
Yeah, that's Ugarte from the back line. Rivas jumps on top of it. Kaffa now towards the byline, saves it with the left foot. That one curling in towards the back post. Saved there by Ian. That was a great ball played back towards the penalty spot. Unfortunately, just no one there for Tulsa. Now they win the ball back. It's Kaffa. Kaffa now waiting. Unable to link up on the overlapping run to the outside from Kosuke.
Yeah, just going back to that flurry of play. Wonderful play again from Kaffa, clipping the ball to the far post. And as you said, a great ball back from Ian Seven Tussin, who kind of put his palms out and as if to say, look, I've put the perfect pull back. Where is anybody coming in on that one? But alas, no one in on that one, and the danger averted from the Timbers 2 point of view.
Say thank you to those watching in on Your View. 13:33 here in Tulsa. Presented by Leisure Leagues, the world's largest 5-, 6-, and 7-a-side football leagues. Join over 7,000 teams and visit leisureleagues.net to find a league near you. Jadama. Little poke away there towards Rivas.
Clever play from Rivas there. He looked both ways, didn't have very many places to go there, but keeps the ball flowing for the men in orange.
Give and go there from Jadama back and forth with Rivas. Roughnecks will attack from the opposite side of the pitch now. Pull back there from Brady. Brady heads up, leaves to the outside. Cutting on the inside and then falling down. Out to Bronico. Bronico's left-footed blast sails over the top of the crossbar and into the seats there directly behind the goal, into the Hispanic supporters section.
Yeah, nothing doing there with Bronico's shot, and Dekovic, who's on as a first-half substitute left back, just saying, come on, you could have put me in there. I was in on the overlap. Here it is again. Bronico left foot, but out of shot to the left of frame was Dekovic in a lot of space.
Brent down from Chicago. You know, there was a roundtable with reporters Tuesday that actually aired on the Fire's Facebook page, on the Chicago Fire, who are the affiliate with the Tulsa Roughnecks here. Sliding tackle. And it was with their general manager, Nelson Rodriguez, and he praised the Roughnecks organization and Coach Vaudril for how much that Calistri and Fernandez have grown since they've been here. Quote, "I think things in Tulsa have been fantastic. David Vaudril is a coach that we shouldn't be surprised if one day we see him in Major League Soccer. I think the organization has treated us extraordinarily well. Our guys are having good experiences."
Well, here to all of that. They are, and we love them here, don't we? Calistri, we've not mentioned him. He's on the bench tonight, isn't he? Joey Calistri getting a well-earned rest. But, you know, he's been an absolute fantastic player and loves linking up with the likes of Kafa and Rivas. You know, and we love Colin Fernandez. You know, I think he's a great player. And I know they're in contact pretty much daily, aren't they? And Dave Vaudril is a quality coach, and it's a great partnership.
Nice ball there, slotted centrally. Tried to pull back there. Defender got just enough of it to make it come off at a bad angle. And now T2 quickly on the counterattack as the long ball over the top. But two defenders are there, including Jadama, who turns that offensive threat the opposite direction. And here's Ugarte. As a matter of fact, Rodriguez said that Calistri was doing really well. The extended playing time was good for him, and he's proving to be what he was in our academy and what he was at Northwestern. It's just a guy that finds a way to score goals and is a menace on defense. And I think that that's the best way to describe Joey Calistri from what we've seen so far. Just out of the reach there, and maybe a little jersey tug there. Dekovic had a nice ball there as he was up across the back line. And look at that hustle to get back to cut down that angle ball there that was searching for Muhammad. And that's just pure hustle there from Dekovic.
Wonderful play from Dekovic, and that's what I was pointing out just now when he said, you know, could I have had the ball when Bronico had the shot? You know, because he's getting lots and lots of space, and Timbers, too, at their peril, are leaving him in lots of space.
A gentle rain has started to fall here at One Oak. Here's Fernandez. I say gentle, boy, those raindrops look bigger when you zoom in on some of the players. Kafa, boy, had the defender up in the air for a moment. Turns, boy, Ballou had to make that turn quickly, and he got dumped to the ground as soon as he had that happen. Now, let's hope Brady's okay. He's holding that right area directly under his knee.
Yeah, it's one of those when he's getting the shot away, we'll see it come to him here. Was that a foul? No, says the referee, and then Brady Ballou just caught a little bit late there. I don't think there's anything malicious by the defender, and it's just one of those nasty ones that you get a knock on the knee. But he's, as we always say, Pop, in very good hands with Kobe down there in the rain. And we hope that Brady will be able to resume. There he is, Brady Ballou, number 23, the midfielder. And we talked a lot about him in the first half. A great lad. And to me, looking very sharp at the moment.
Almost scored against Sacramento. Made his second start of the year on Wednesday. Got his third here tonight. Last year appeared in 25 of the 30 regular season matches for the Roughnecks, the Seattle U product. It's also where Kyle Bjornethan from T2 went to college at Seattle U. Lovely campus there in Seattle. Got to spend some time at the campus with Brady last year on the Seattle trip, just right off the edge of downtown.
And I think the referee is halting proceedings here, Pop. I think he's going to take the players off.
I think you're right. Yeah, the referee has halted this match here in the 55th minute, and not just because of the rain, but we have been seeing some flashing in the sky. happening as well, and I think that that's where obviously the concern is here. So the referee has called a halt to this match here in the 55th minute as you see the players make their way off the pitch here, and this is just about safety and concern.
And it's absolutely right. And there's the big umbrella. Who's that underneath there? Is it Mr. Kinnear? I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah, Lloyd is.
He's not going to share that with his coach, is he?
I know. Lloyd's got the biggest umbrella in the entire building.
Yeah.
And he's not going to share with anyone.
No, he's not.
You can see there the rain falling as the lights shine here in downtown Tulsa. We'll look at the radar for you coming up here in a moment and see what we can see. But in the meantime, the tarp is going on the pitch. And, well, partner, there is quite the little activity that is to our south kind of moving in our direction, isn't it?
It is, but it looks to me, Pop, and you've got more local knowledge than me, my friend. It looks to me like it's going to move through pretty quickly. So I would predict this isn't going to be that long of a delay. I don't know. What do you think?
It depends. As I put on my meteorological hat here for just a moment, you appear to be correct. It does look like that it's fast moving. You just wonder, though, what type of lightning activity are we going to get, and if it does move out of here in a timely fashion, are we going to have any leftover byproducts of lightning that still kind of lingers after the storm moves out of here? The rain isn't not really coming down, you know, in any type of torrential fashion, just big raindrops as the tarp being put on here.
Well,
hard-working crew, by the way, goes down. But I mean, this is what I love about the organization here with the Roughnecks. I mean, you saw the tarp was on the field earlier. How many places do you see the owner of the team go down and help put on the tarp? And not just that, but the media relations department and everyone else, they go down to help put on the tarp. They do it for baseball as well. They've had plenty of practice at it. And
I tell you what, that's almost a world record. That is fantastic. And the crowd that have stayed behind are really applauding those. I think they're all men down there. I was going to say men and then look down there. Yeah, that's a wonderful job from them. It reminds me, while we've got a break, I can tell you a little story. You know, Wimbledon is coming up, of course, very close to my heart. And I remember them doing that on the centre court. And one poor lad right in the middle got underneath, unfortunately,
yeah.
But they left him there and they carried on with the tarp. They were going to get the tarp down on centre court, and the poor lad had to crawl out, but he became quite a local hero because of that. But yeah, they do a fantastic job. Everybody here at One Oak does a fantastic job, and we're sad to see, you know, the break in the game. You don't want to see that in a game of soccer, but it's exactly the right decision. Referee has no choice, Pop, and it gives us a chance to mull over what's happened so far and look ahead to hopefully the conclusion of the game as well.
Yeah, and you never know what you're going to get here in Oklahoma as far as the weather is concerned. Anyone that's watching locally understands that. If you happen to be watching from Portland on the YouTube feed here this evening, there were storms, and my friend, we might actually have to close the window here.
Yeah, Pop's going to go and close the window, so I'll ad lib for a little bit for you. Certainly the rain is coming down, you know, pretty heavily now, with the score at 3-1 for Tulsa. We have no idea of how long this break will be, and we'll continue to update you as best we can. We have got the radar map, as Pop said earlier on. It seems to be, you know, at its heaviest roundabout now, so we're hoping it'll lighten up. But we say again, what a fantastic job they do here at One Oak.
Apologize for that, but some of the equipment was starting to get wet here, so we got to...
Well, we should say as well, you know, again, Alan and the team here, a fantastic job they do. We always say it, and we absolutely mean it, 100%. And they hurriedly took in the very expensive camera that is down on the side there. And these guys do a fantastic job, and you do not want to be out there in this weather as the rain starts to get a little bit heavier.
Yeah, just as soon as I said that it was not a torrential downpour,
yeah,
I should have known better. I've lived here my entire life. I know better than to mock the weather, and we just got treated to all the heavy rain coming down here. Now, leading up to the match today, there had been lots of speculation throughout the week about what the weather was going to be like on Saturday. Now, earlier in the week, you know, there was a bit of a concern, but then the concern started to grow the later that we got into the week with some of the severe weather threats that were going on here. Now, there have been tornado warnings to our north and to our northeast. Hopefully there's nothing that's to our south as well. Tulsa looks like now that even though this cell's moving through at this moment, that there's not going to be too much as far as the severe category is concerned. But there have been quite a few outbreaks here with warnings that have surrounded us locally and moving up into Missouri as well, and our friends over in Arkansas. And we always wish them the best when storms move out of the Tulsa area and start to head in that easterly direction. But I always wonder, I've made this comment several times, but when these teams come in from the Pacific Northwest and during this time of the year in Oklahoma, chances are that you could be a part of some severe weather. I wonder what teams think when they come in here and see the warnings going off around them as they get set to prepare for a game here at One Oak.
Yeah, I mean, I've been here coming up 4 years, and I'm learning that May is this month where you're not quite sure what's going to happen weather-wise, are you? A point that, you know, you want to make for Portland, I know they're 3-1 down, and, you know, what have we got, 54 minutes, so we've still got another 36 minutes of the game to complete. But you would not want this to be null and void, and you wouldn't want to have to come back again. They came in, if you didn't know, folks, for the week. They played OKC, and then they've hung around a few days to come here to Tulsa. A lot of teams do that. Sometimes you don't get that luck of the draw. A little bit like the Roughnecks did, wasn't it, when they played Sacramento and Reno. But they wouldn't want to have to come back again just to play that one game. But, you know, it's still anyone's game. We hope we can get this game to a conclusion. We really do. But at the moment, we're looking out. We can see through the floodlights a lot of rain coming down, a lot of heavy rain. But they have put a big rectangular tarp down, which covers the kind of turf they put down, the sod they put down on the infield of the baseball, which of course is played here by the Tulsa Drillers. And so once that tarp is off and the rain stops and the lightning goes away, we can do that. But in the meantime, we could talk about the Cup final if you want.
We're actually going to take a break.
Yeah, good.
We're going to take a timeout. We are in a weather delay here at One Oak Field as the rain is pouring down. And you can see some of the ball kids that are still in the dugout area that are absolutely soaked and having the time of their lives right now playing in the rain here at One Oak Field. We'll take a timeout in a weather delay with the Roughnecks leading 3-1 here at One Oak Field. Jeremy Poplin and Dave Saunders with you. This is Tulsa Roughnecks Soccer.
Catch is made. Here comes Alley's throw to the plate, a strong one. He's out! What a throw by Stetson Alley. A tremendous catch and throw, double play.
here is my handle, and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
The USL's all-time leading scorer has added another accolade to his resume.
Here's Kelly. And he's got the hat trick! Dane Kelly has done it again! Back-to-back games, 3 goals for Kelly.
Dane Kelly is now the only player in USL history to score back-to-back hat tricks. Kelly notched his first 3-goal game in Reno's first win in club history.
Carries the ball ahead. Into an attacking position. He scored in the 2nd minute.
Together before they get another goal.
Brown Kelly, that's 2 in 6 minutes. Kelly, he steps over and he puts it in off the post. That is a hat trick in the 66th minute.
The second occurred in front of a home crowd, leading Reno to their first ever win at Greater Nevada Field.
Brent Richards finds Kelly, and Dane Kelly! Goal! Kelly finds net again! Here's Kelly. And he's got the hat trick! Dane Kelly has done it again!
Kelly was honored with 2 USL Player of the Week recognitions following his back-to-back performances. For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
Hockey. No doubt, yeah. I used to play hockey all the time when I was a kid. Like, we'd go to the pond and play. Grew up in Chicago, so kind of born a Blackhawks fan. Jeez, this is a hard question. Who would play me? Kevin Hart. Ronaldinho, no doubt. I mean, he's just unbelievable. He was always my favorite player as a kid and still is. Patrick Nyarko's always told me that you just got to keep working hard and looking forward to the big picture. I mean, it's the only thing you can do. Even when things get tough, you just got to keep working hard. I mean, it's simple, but it's true. I got beat by Sean Johnson earlier this year, but we have yet to play a rematch. So I'll have to give it to him right now because I haven't played anyone else really. But I'll let him take the reins for that one.
It's always a good feeling to come back here to Munich. Of course, have family over here and also friends. And of course, it's kind of home for me. My parents live actually, or where I grew up, live actually 1 hours south of Munich. So every time when I touch down here, I feel happy. And it's a very nice city. I hope you have time to enjoy it a little bit. And it's a good feeling. When I heard the first time about Chicago, I had straight a good feeling, and especially also after all the talks with Pauno and also with Nelson. I just like the philosophy, the idea what they both have, and of course Chicago is a big city, and you probably know the city better than I do, but I'm also looking forward to meet the people over there. I was always dreaming about actually to play after Munich in the Premier League for United. So I achieved that, and I played for United. And the MLS was always in my head, you know, like I like America, I like the people over there, and to play football in MLS is for me, a dream come true. And I like challenges. And I know that the last 2 years were a little bit disappointed for Chicago Fire, but I have a big faith into the team and also the coaches, especially Pauno, who I talked to. And yeah, I just want to help the team, to help the club, to help the city. I'm looking forward to meet the people in Chicago.
The catch is made. Here comes Ali's throw to the plate, a strong one. He's out! What a throw by Stetson Ali. A tremendous catch and throw, double play.
Joey, being part of the PDL program and the academy, it must have been cool to all of a sudden put on that Fire shirt for the first time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, my first appearance and chance to play with the club against New York was incredible, and you know, I've just been trying to learn as I go here and help the team in any way I can. And luckily, Pano's trusted me a little bit, and hopefully, I can reward him.
Being a homegrown talent, nurtured in the academy, what did that teach you?
We learned a lot, you know, about playing with the ball, possession with the ball. That was a big key in the academy growing up, and I think that's helped a lot, especially in Pano's system. He stresses that a lot, you know, having possession and wearing a team out. So I think it's definitely helped get me ready.
I know you didn't like the way things ended in Colorado, but it was a thrilling moment for you in the 81st minute, picking up your first MLS goal. What went through your head when that ball went in the net?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it was a great team play and a great build-up. You know, David played a great ball across to Rodrigo, who made a great run, and then he headed it back, and I was able to get in a good position to slot it home. But, you know, that was just an unbelievable feeling. It's hard to describe, but, you know, the most important thing is getting results, so we're going to look to do that in the next game.
Grew up watching the Chicago Fire, grew up in Deerfield, Illinois. Who were some of your favorite players watching as a youth?
I mean, there's a lot. I really enjoyed watching guys like Chris Rolfe and Ante Razoff, you know, scoring goals, and then there were some Warriors back there like C.J. Brown, Chris Armas, you know, guys that I really looked up to.
A guy like Razoff, you're a finisher. What can you learn from watching the legend Razoff?
I mean, just look at his movement in the box, and you could see that he's always looking for little half yards to try to create space to, you know, make a chance for himself, and he usually puts it in too. So.
Maybe on par with your education at Northwestern was your experience with the Chicago Fire as an intern. What was that like, Joey?
That was fun. You know, I got to see the club from a different perspective, I think, and I think that's kind of important when you're from, you know, I'm a local kid from Chicago playing for his hometown team, so I think it was cool to kind of get a behind-the-scenes look at what goes on to make everything happen.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
The USL's all-time leading scorer has added another accolade to his resume.
Here's Kelly. And he's got the hat trick! Dane Kelly has done it again! Back-to-back games, 3 goals for Kelly.
Dane Kelly is now the only player in USL history to score back-to-back hat tricks. Kelly notched his first 3-goal game in Reno's first win in club history.
Carries the ball ahead into an attacking position. He scored in the 2nd minute.
Together before they get another goal.
Brown, Kelly, that's 2 in 6 minutes. Kelly, he steps over and he puts it in off the post. That is a hat trick in the 66th minute.
The second occurred in front of a home crowd, leading Reno to their first ever win at Greater Nevada Field.
Brent Richards finds Kelly, and Dane Kelly, goal! Kelly finds net again. Here's Kelly, and he's got the hat trick. Dane Kelly has done it again.
Kelly was honored with 2 USL Player of the Week recognitions following his back-to-back performances. For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
Catch is made. Here comes Alley's throw to the plate, a strong one. He's out! What a throw by Stetson Alley. A tremendous catch and throw, double play. Catch is made. Here comes Alley's throw to the plate, a strong one. He's out! What a throw by Stetson Alley. A tremendous catch and throw, double play.
Tulsa Roughnecks FC visiting Rio Grande Valley FC here on a Saturday night in Week 5 in the USL. Here we go, underway from HEB Park with Ross Davenport. I'm Matt Peterson. Not cleared yet. Christian Lucatero on his preferred left. Lofted cross, flicked on from Escalante, and just past the far post from Eric Bird. Little 1-2, the Cuban with a good delivery. Now a chance in the box, and it's pushed away on Goitia. A second chance, huge block from Kai Green. So much time in the area for Ian Savuntason, and you see his frustration.
Yeah, he's very upset with himself there. He had almost too much time. He comes in the ball. He almost had too much time there to think about what to do with this ball. Bobbled nastily for him. There's a great save by Anguicia. A great block by Kai Green coming in to say that was almost a certain goal for Tulsa. Green got that footed.
Getting another. He's heating up here in springtime. There's a good hit into the upper corner. And Tulsa grabs the lead. It's Jaime Ayala, the Mexican. And what a hit for the 26-year-olds. And a deserved lead for Tulsa. And there's the full-time whistle. Tulsa has done it once again. In the first month of the season, they have a pair of 1-0 wins against Rio Grande Valley FC.
He was formed with Boca Juniors, played with Boca Juniors, and then went to Real Betis in the first division in Spain. Played in La Liga for 2 years. He's been to the United States. He wants to come here, and he's technically so skillful. serving balls, running without the ball, has a real big shot, left foot from distance, takes all the set pieces, takes penalty kicks, and we're just excited to have him a part of our club. I couldn't be more excited to able to sign such a high-level player.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
The USL's all-time leading scorer has added another accolade to his resume.
Here's Kelly. And he's got the hat trick! Dane Kelly has done it again! Back-to-back games. 3 goals for Kelly.
Dane Kelly is now the only player in USL history to score back-to-back hat tricks. Kelly notched his first 3-goal game in Reno's first win in club history.
Carries the ball ahead. Into an attacking position. He scored in the 2nd minute.
Together before they get another goal.
Brown Kelly, that's 2 in 6 minutes. Kelly, he steps over and he puts it in off the post. That is a hat trick in the 66th minute.
The second occurred in front of a home crowd, leading Reno to their first ever win at Greater Nevada Field.
Brent Richards finds Kelly and Dane Kelly. Goal! Kelly finds net again. Here's Kelly. And he's got the hat trick. Dane Kelly has done it again.
Kelly was honored with 2 USL Player of the Week recognitions following his back-to-back performances. For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
Well, there you can see some of the halftime stats as welcome back into One Oak Field as we are in the middle of a weather delay. And the halftime stats, because we're only, 54 minutes in, I believe, here in the second half. So we're just past halftime. And at halftime, you see 10 shots for the Roughnecks, 6 of those on goal. Passing accuracy, almost dead even between the two teams at 74%. And the Timbers have come in, and as they've done throughout the majority of the USL season, have owned possession and have had a very high accuracy number. Fouls committed, 10-8. Portland has had 5 corners, a lot of those early in the first half, but more importantly, that big number 3 underneath the Tulsa Roughnecks banner and the 1 on the T2 side. Jeremy Popland with Dave Saunders coming to you live from the Bank of Oklahoma broadcast booth. And we've been in this weather delay now for a number of minutes as a storm moved in. Coming up from the southwest portion of the state of Oklahoma and slid across the city of Tulsa, where we had quite a bit of lightning and quite a bit of rain that just fell here over the last 30 minutes or so. So we're still in this weather delay as of right now. Some of the fans have decided to stick around. The ball girls and kids. By the way, the fans were tucked up underneath the awning, so most of them stayed dry. The ball kids decided they were going to have a party in some of the rain that was coming down here. As you see now that the rain has moved completely out of downtown Tulsa and is pushed on to the east now. One of the big music festivals that is taking place every Memorial Day weekend is Rocklahoma. That had been postponed, and they were under a severe thunderstorm warning and a tornado warning at one point in time. So some of the roustabouts have decided to stick this one out, and we're a few moments away from being able to get back to action. And we are planning on getting back to action here in Tulsa with the rain having moved out, but there is a process to go through. And we were in the middle of the break catching up on the Reno and Colorado Springs game. That one finished in a 3-3 draw. And just underway is Los Angeles and Phoenix, and that one was a 1-0 score for Phoenix. And if this result were to stand here this evening with Tulsa leading 3-1 at halftime, you look at the 2017 Western Conference standings, and Tulsa would be in third place with 15 total points, trailing only San Antonio, who has 29 points, still undefeated on the season at 9-0-2, and the Real Monarchs SLC at 8-1-0 with 24 points. But not too shabby, Dave. That's what that's what Dave Vaudreuil talked about, was cutting this section of the schedule up into 7 games. And I know everyone was disappointed that you lose 2 in a row, but the way Dave said it was, hey, we're 3-2 right now if you count the Open Cup game. We win coming up here tonight, we'd be 4-2 with an opportunity to come back and play on Wednesday in the Open Cup to tag that 5th win on in 7 games, and everyone's sitting pretty. So Roughnecks now with a big opportunity here to move into third.
Yeah, I think, welcome back, everybody. I think it's a really big 36 minutes that they've got in front of them now, Pop. They've got it'll be unusual for both sets of players to have to go out there, warm up, and then at some stage get underway again. But as you say, you know, you look at that table and we want it to stay this way. Now it's 3-1, and we keep saying the next goal's really important. If Portland were to get it, then we're going to have some kind of a finish to this game. But this is a big 36 minutes in the Roughnecks season. And then, as you say, they play San Antonio in the Open Cup. That's not going to be an easy game at TU on Wednesday the 31st. And then they get that 11-day break. So a really big 36 minutes for the Roughnecks.
Absolutely big, and things got started off with scoring tonight with one of our favorites, and that was Joaquin Rivas, who scores his first goal in a Roughneck uniform here in USL. Then Kaffa gets the goal in the 25th minute off of the PK. Bijev comes back and makes it 2-1 at that point in the 35th minute. And then Ian Svantason with the goal to make it 3-1 for the Roughnecks there directly before halftime, and that has given us our score of 3-1. We're in the midst of a rain delay. As you see some of the replays here, watch this ball. That's Corrales, who, by the way, had to leave shortly thereafter that, but a beautiful finish there from Rivas between the defender's legs through the 5-hole. Slots that one home. Here's the PK from Kaffa.
Just watch how he wrong foots the keeper here, Pop. There's the keeper, goes off his line, way off his line, but he's nowhere near the ball because Kaffa can do what he wants with it.
There's Brady Ballou, who's laying down, who stumbled, and that's what I believe Portland was complaining about. And here's the break. Here's the goal from Bijev.
Yeah, did well to get past Jadama then, and then just spotted keeper Cleveland off his line and thought, right, I'll go near post. I mean, no keeper likes to be beaten like that, but, you know, I'm not going to blame Cleveland for that at all. And then what about this for an assist? You told me it's his second assist of the season. Big Mo Jadama there. That's the perfect ball. And you said in commentary, it seemed to hang there for Svantassen to come in and just nod the ball over the keeper. And that could be, you never know, Pop, but that could be the game winner tonight. We just don't know at this stage. But it restored the 2-goal deficit.
Yeah, Swantason now with 5 goals that count, 7 total if you add up the 2 that were taken away in the win against Colorado Springs. In the midst of a weather delay here at One Oak, we'll take a timeout, and when we come back, we'll hopefully get set for more action here live from One Oak with Tulsa leading 3-1 over the Portland Timbers 2.
Catch is made. Here comes Alley's throw to the plate, a strong one. He's out! What a throw by Stetson Alley. A tremendous catch and throw, double play.
Joey, being part of the PDL program and the academy, it must have been cool then all of a sudden put on that Fire shirt for the first time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, my first appearance and chance to play with the club against New York was incredible, and you know, I've just been trying to learn as I go here and help the team in any way I can. And luckily, Pano's trusted me a little bit, and hopefully, I can reward him.
Being a homegrown talent, nurtured in the academy, what did that teach you?
We learned a lot, you know, about playing with the ball, possession with the ball. That was a big key in the academy growing up, and I think that's helped a lot, especially in Pano's system. He stresses that a lot, you know, having possession and wearing a team out. So I think it's definitely helped get me ready.
I know you didn't like the way things ended in Colorado, but it was a thrilling moment for you in the 81st minute, picking up your first MLS goal. What went through your head when that ball went in the net?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it was a great team play and a great build-up. You know, David played a great ball across to Rodrigo, who made a great run, and then he headed it back, and I was able to get in a good position to slot it home. But, you know, that was just an unbelievable feeling. It's hard to describe, but, you know, the most important thing is getting results, so we're going to look to do that in the next game.
Grew up watching the Chicago Fire, grew up in Deerfield, Illinois. Who were some of your favorite players watching as a youth?
I mean, there's a lot. I really enjoyed watching guys like Chris Rolfe and Ante Razoff, you know, scoring goals, and then there were some warriors back there like C.J. Brown, Chris Armas, you know, guys that I really looked up to.
A guy like Razoff, you're a finisher. What can you learn from watching the legend Razoff?
I mean, just look at his movement in the box, and you could see that he's always looking for little half yards to try to create space to, you know, make a chance for himself, and he usually puts it in too. So.
Maybe on par with your education at Northwestern was your experience with the Chicago Fire as an intern. What was that like, Joey?
That was fun. You know, I got to see the club from a different perspective, I think, and I think that's kind of important when you're from, you know, I'm a local kid from Chicago playing for his hometown team, so I think it was cool to kind of get a behind-the-scenes look at what goes on to make everything happen.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
The USL's all-time leading scorer has added another accolade to his resume.
Here's Kelly. And he's got the hat trick! Dane Kelly has done it again! Back-to-back games. 3 goals for Kelly.
Dane Kelly is now the only player in USL history to score back-to-back hat tricks. Kelly notched his first 3-goal game in Reno's first win in club history.
Carries the ball ahead. Into an attacking position. He scored in the 2nd minute.
Together before they get another goal.
Brown Kelly, that's 2 in 6 minutes. Kelly, he steps over and he puts it in off the post. That is a hat trick in the 66th minute.
The second occurred in front of a home crowd, leading Reno to their first ever win at Greater Nevada Field.
Brent Richards finds Kelly and Dane Kelly. Goal! Kelly finds net again. Here's Kelly. And he's got the hat trick. Dane Kelly has done it again.
Kelly was honored with 2 USL Player of the Week recognitions following his back-to-back performances. For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
Well, there we are, my friend, live on the camera high atop One Oak Field. I am Jeremy Poplin, joined by Dave Saunders. Thank you for tuning in this evening, and we apologize for the weather that's happened here in northeastern Oklahoma, as it has forced a delay here in the 55th minute of the broadcast. You can see some of the Roughnecks players that are currently not suited up tonight hanging out with us next door, and they're making sure that they get some camera time as well, with Tulsa leading here 3-1 at halftime over T2. And I have to say, my friend, that we talked about this team needing a quick start. to get off to tonight after coming back on the road trip, but I know Coach Vaught was disappointed with the number of goals that were given up while they were on the road, but off to another quick start. And that's not to take anything away from the starts that we saw with him on the road, because they got off to the early lead in Sacramento. I thought outplayed Reno in the first half with that different formation that we haven't seen. So for them to come here and actually be able to finish balls here this evening, just what the doctor ordered.
Absolutely right. Couldn't agree more. They really did do very, very well right from the whistle. I said to you the keys to the game would be the two midfielders sat in front of the back four. I think they've held things together very well. They got into a 2-0 lead, a little bit lucky maybe with a penalty shout, but wonderful, wonderful goal from Rivas. So pleased for him to get us off the mark. Kaffa can do no wrong from a dead ball situation. And then, you know, Ian getting that third goal, so vital. But as I said to you just now, Pop, 36 minutes, you know, they could finish tonight in third place. This is a big 36 minutes we've got to play now.
No, it absolutely is. And if you were to ask Coach Vaught, who talked about breaking the schedule up into segments, as we'll see some of the fans here that are still hanging out on the berm. There are those couple of fans. Hope they got a blanket, because they're going to have a wet behind with all the water that was down here on the berm section. As you see some of the players start to make their way out of the tunnels, there's some fans that decided to stick around and stay, and they're going to be treated to the close and finish of this game as T2 has made their way back out on the pitch, and now we'll have a warm-up session that will take place. There's been lots of action that's happened within the USL. Today, there's lots of games, by the way, that take place tomorrow. But quickly, let's run down some of the scores from earlier today. The Ottawa Fury beat the Richmond Kickers 5-3. FC Cincinnati, in front of, I believe, close to 19,000 again, beat Toronto FC 2 in that match. Orlando City B fell to the Charlotte Independence 3-1. Rowdies and St. Louis FC draw at 1. Speaking of draws, Reno 1868 and Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC 3-3. Roughnecks leading here 3-1, and Galaxy and Phoenix Rising are tied up at 1 apiece. And there are a handful of games that are taking place tomorrow as well, featuring Red Bull 2 and Charleston Battery, Bethlehem Steel, Harrisburg City Islanders. You've got Sounders FC2 taking on the Republic, and the Whitecaps FC2 taking on Real Monarchs. So it's a very busy schedule on Sunday and throughout this Memorial Day weekend. Then on to the third round of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. And one of our USL teams will actually be playing on Tuesday night. That's St. Louis taking on the Michigan Bucks. That will be in Pontiac, Michigan. From there, you've got Rochester, who plays on Wednesday night. You've got the Jacksonville Armada and Charleston Battery playing. That is a 6 o'clock Central start, 7 Eastern. FC Cincinnati taking on Louisville City FC. You've got Reading United out of the PDL taking on Harrisburg. Charlotte Independence taking on North Carolina FC out of NASL. Miami FC taking on the Tampa Bay Rowdies. And the Tulsa Roughnecks right here in Tulsa at the University of Tulsa Soccer and Track Stadium will take on San Antonio FC. And this is kind of an interesting look, because those two teams played each other early in the season. Coach Vaught said, hey, we weren't anywhere close to being as fit as what we should have. Maybe came away a bit lucky to get a result in a preseason game out of there. But St. Louis has jumped out of the gate. San Antonio has jumped out 9-0-2 on the season with 29 points. Man, they are playing some incredible soccer right now. And Real Monarchs at 8-1-0. They're 5 points behind. Think about that, the incredible start that they've had. And they're still 5 points behind San Antonio FC.
Yeah, I mean, amazing. Those two teams have really jumped out and got to it. You know, San Antonio, we know they're a great outfit down there. And that'll be an interesting matchup when they come up to Tulsa, seeing what kind of side they put out. And I think I'm right in saying, Pop, that, you know, the winners get a decent price in what is it, the fourth round. So, you know, it could be an MLS team. So, you know, a lot to play for there. And then, as we say, after that, from the Roughnecks point of view, they will get that 11-day break. So, pretty good stuff from the Roughnecks. If they can get through this one with a win and then a win in the Cup, they can take a well-earned break.
You know, the USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the top talent from the game and rising stars, and you can stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting the website at USL Soccer and follow them on Twitter at USL. They surpassed the 500,000 fans during Week 9, which is a 30% increase from 2016. And having played 2 less matches than through Week 9 of last year, USL clubs not owned and operated by an MLS team are averaging nearly 6,000 fans per game compared to just 4,700 last year. So pretty big increase as far as fans are concerned. And Dane Kelly, this Golden Boot race has been great so far, and heading down the stretch is going to get even better. Dane Kelly had his 9th goal coming into the weekend. I believe he had another one tonight, so he's at 10. That's 58th of his career. He's already the all-time leading goal scorer in USL. We watched him against the Roughnecks, and the thing that amazes me about Dane, who had to battle some injuries last year at Sporting, he still has one of the most unbelievable explosions of speed and burst in that first step that he takes to get to every single ball. He is going to be a thorn in the side of everyone who plays Reno 1868 so far this season.
Well, you're right, and we had our first look at him last season, didn't we, when he played for Swope Park, and he was pretty deadly there. But, you know, he takes penalties, and he scores from everywhere, in and around the box, in the box. And as you say, he's got that sharp burst of pace, and there's nothing like that, you know, providing that you can do the end part, of course, which is to finish. And to me, Dane Kelly has got both of those. He's got that speed to go past people, he's got that speed to get a yard ahead of the defender, and then boy can he finish. As you say, he's scored lots and lots of goals this season, lots in his career, and you know, he's going to be a thorn in the side, as you quite rightly put it, for anybody that he plays against.
Let's look at some of the statistics here. Tackles pretty much even across the board, 11 for Tulsa, 10 for Portland. Accuracy on the tackles, Tulsa at 100% on their accuracy. Halftime stats in general, as you see there, with the 10 shots, 6 of those on goals for Tulsa, 8 fouls committed, 10 clearances for T2 so far on the evening. And if we can look at some of the attacking numbers as well, shots outside the box, I think this tells a big story. 6 for Portland, 1 for Tulsa, but shots inside the box, 11 for the Roughnecks, and only 1 inside the box for T2.
Tells the story, doesn't it? You know, the Roughnecks, what was that, 11 you said?
Yes.
Pop? I mean, that you know, that's phenomenal in 55 minutes of football. And we know that they've got the creative players that can play balls, none better than Kaffa, into the box, you know. And you know, players are coming in and scoring like Rivas, who's not playing as a number 9. It isn't just your number 9 that scores, although we know that Swan Tusner's got one tonight from his head. But, you know, it's the ability to, and the assists to get inside the box and to score from inside the 6-yard box that Tulsa have been so successful. And then you compare that with the opposition tonight, and I think, you know, it was the goal, wasn't it? It was the only shot from inside the area. So credit the Tulsa defence as well. I'm sure the Portland manager will be saying they can do better in and around and inside the box. But, well, let's hope it continues and the Roughnecks can be up near 20 by the end of the game.
Distribution, I mean, almost dead even. 200 passes for the Roughnecks, 201 for Portland. Long passes, 32 Tulsa, 34 Portland. Now, the accuracy, 76% Tulsa, 74% for T2. Accuracy in opponent's half, 65% for Tulsa, 66 for Portland. Crosses, 12 for Tulsa, 11 for Portland. And crossing accuracy, Tulsa with the slight advantage there, 33% to 27%. I mean, almost dead even just as far as the general distribution throughout the field.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, you go to possession as well, and I think the Timbers 2 side have just shaded that one 52 to 48. It's been a really good passing game, but as we know, the end possession stats won't matter at all if Tulsa are going to win the game. And they've had less possession, but they've had more shots within the goal, and of course they converted 3 to 1 from the opposition. But yeah, it's a good game, and boy, has the game changed. 75%, 3/4 of your passes have been accurate. We're disappointed now, and the players are disappointed when somebody gives the ball away, because the stakes have been upped in the modern game. And we know to win the game of football here now, if the Roughnecks can have the majority of the possession, convert those passes, convert some chances, they could well be on the way to third place overnight, and 3 more points.
Okay, so here's the challenge. If you're Dave Vaudreuil, your team went in for a break at half. You played roughly 10 minutes to come out in the second half. Now you've had another extended break. So you've had a lot of downtime here after you were warm. Then you had your break at half. You came back, got warm again, and now you're going into another lull. How do you approach that in the locker room?
I think that you say it's a 36-minute game. Quite honestly, as simple as that. I think you say, forget everything else that's gone on tonight. We know that we're going to come out and see in red, Tulsa 3, Portland 1. I can see it myself now on the board. But you've got to say, okay, it's 0-0, 36 minutes. If we can keep it at 0-0, we win the game. Simple as that. You've just got to start again. I don't think there's any other way that you can say to do it. And I think he's out there. He's clearly got, he's clearly talked to them about what they're going to do when they come out, because they're going through lots of passing drills and so on. He's an experienced coach, Pop, and he'll know what to do. He would have been in this situation before. It's a difficult one for any professional sportsman, isn't it? When you're keyed up for the game, it's 90 minutes, and then you've got this long break. You play 55, like you said, 45 a break, 10, but now it's just a 36-minute game. Let's treat it like that.
Kaffa, 4 goals, 3 assists this season. We saw Donovan Ricketts there down on the field working with Stephon Cleveland. He's former keeper for Dartmouth, transferred to Louisville, 6'1", Dayton, Ohio native. He was on the bench his freshman year in 14, and then as a sophomore made his debut against Holy Cross, made it an immediate and lasting impact. He allowed just 1 goal on 7 saves en route to a 1-1 tie there in his debut on the college side tonight. He did get beaten near post here this evening, but the thing about Cleveland going through his college days is that he just continued to get better and better and better. He finished his undergraduate career with 33 goals allowed, 16 shutouts, and 126 saves. That's less than a goal against average for a keeper. And he helped lead them to 2 consecutive Ivy League championships. And before he went on and then finished out his playing career at Louisville. So Chicago sends him down, wants him to get some minutes here this evening, and has so far. Has been tested that one time near post, hasn't really been called into too much action as of yet. Got a little bump when he had to come out and get the ball, but I think that he's handled himself well here in this first appearance.
Yeah, I think he has. There was a shot that sort of went well wide. He was able to watch that one, and then he had to dive at one that was a bit closer from the goal scorer, Bijev. Then he took a couple of balls in the air that he confidently caught. One was unchallenged. One he took a bit of a knock, but he got up. That would have made him feel good. No keeper, as I said, likes to be beaten on their near post, but he'll learn from that. But he's in great hands, isn't he? With the goalkeeping coach out there who's very experienced. So he'll be learning, and it's good that he can come in and get some minutes. And of course he's got 2 keepers as well, David Vaudreuil, behind him who've not let Tulsa down at all this season. So it's great from the coach's point of view that he's got 3 goalkeepers now. Bit of a headache to keep them all happy. Of course, every keeper wants to play every minute they can. But well done to the young man tonight. Let's hope he has finishes off the night well.
Well, and it's a incredibly tough spot to be put in because you have 0 communication with your team at all. You don't understand or have the feel for how the 4 in front of you like to operate at all. So it is a rather tough spot. We talk about needing minutes for guys, but there is a drawback for needing minutes and being inserted into a lineup. as quickly as what we've seen tonight from Cleveland, because, and the drawback is that communication. But once you go through that feeling out process, and usually sometimes that can take, 20 minutes into a game to kind of see even as simple things as, subtle movement from the guys in front of you, the angles that they like to take, what their approach is. And this is not an easy spot for him to be coming into at all, and I give him credit.
No, I give him credit too, because, if you're an outfield player, for example, let's take you, you're a central midfield player, you're going to get on the ball, you're going to get an early touch, you can just lay a 5-yard ball off, maybe you'll play a cutting pass through to your striker. But when you're the goalkeeper, you're on a hiding to nothing, aren't you? You can come out, you don't know your defenders, as you said, you can call for a ball when maybe you shouldn't have called for a ball. The main thing I think the defenders would have said to him was talk, keep talking. The best goalkeepers I ever played with were the ones that never shut up the whole 90 minutes, and they drove you mad, but you knew they were there all the time. And as I said, to come out and take those two out of the air, he would have got a few pats on the back there from his defenders saying, well done, fantastic, keep going, keep going. And not an easy place to be, but he's done very, very well. And as we say, we just hope he has a good 36 minutes now to finish the night off.
There's Bijev.
I think he's been the pick to me. I don't know if Timbers fans can enlighten me. Has he been good all season? But to me, he took his goal very well. He had a shot, didn't he, just before the goal, which flashed past. And I think he's been the best Timbers player. Here's some highlights. I think this is the perfect ball in the modern game. Pull back from Corrales, who's come up from left back. Wonderful for Rivas to get on the score sheet. And then here it is, the pullback. Look at that. That's what you want in the modern game, Pop. We coach it all the time. Then they got a bit lucky with the penalty, but this is the man you want on the penalty. Look how he just sends the keeper completely the wrong way. And then here is the goal we've just been talking about with Bijev. Mo Jadama doesn't make the tackle, and there's Cleveland being beaten on his near post. He was disappointed. You could see him go down there.
That's all, though, there from Mohammed.
Yeah.
Omar Mohammed starts that play off, and quickly they go to the opposite end, and here's this great ball from Shadama.
That's just unbelievable. And Svantasson really reads that perfectly. Here it is, he's practically on the halfway line, floats the ball in. There's only one winner there. And Ian Svantasson, 6'6", and there he is, warming up now. He would love another goal to put this one to bed. What did we say? He's got 5 that are being counted for this season. Wonderful to have him up front, but he would be the first to say, thank you, Jadama. That was a wonderful assist. And thank you to Kava and Rivas and Brady Ballou and Calistri when he plays for the service that you're giving me. Every number 9, wants to be fed, and they'll score.
I think the first, if I'm not mistaken, I think the first 10 minutes of this restart are going to be the telltale sign of this game, because if Portland comes back, they're on the front foot, they start and pick up basically where they left off as far as passing and distribution, and say they were to get one here in the first 10 minutes and pull them back within one, then we've got a brand new game, my friend. And if Tulsa can keep Portland moving, if they can keep them chasing the ball here, basically play keep away, maybe not get caught in too many positions, trying to go forward here, just play this one smart, you can come out of here with 3 points, end up in 3rd place in the West, and if Tulsa scores, then it's virtually over anyway. But, yeah, I think the first 10 minutes, especially for Portland, are going to be telling.
Yeah, absolutely. Portland, kind of got nothing to lose, have they? What have they got? 4 points all season. They'll want something out of this game. It's not a lot of time, but as you say, if they can come out and force an opportunity on young Cleveland's goal, and get one back, it's suddenly 3-2. There they are getting in the huddle. There's Rivas, who's going to be important for the Roughnecks. There's the Timbers. They've got nothing to lose. But I think if you're Dave Vaudreuil, you're going to say to your players, go out, possess the ball, don't give them a sniff at our goal at all, and we will win through this one. But as you say, that first 10 minutes is crucial, because if you can suck the life out of this Timbers 2 side with possession, you're halfway there to the 3 points.
Brady Ballou walking back. Now the Roughnecks players will huddle, as you see Timbers 2 there doing the exact same.
What I would say, Pop, sorry, just jumping back in, is I was watching the difference between the two warm-ups, and no disrespect to Portland, but I would say the Roughnecks just looked a little bit more professional in their warm-up, and I hope that counts for a lot. They were really going through some drills that had clearly been thought out by our wonderful coach, who doesn't leave any stone unturned, does he? You know, to me, it just looked a little bit more professional from our guys, but we'll wait and see. You know, Timbers 2 may have been instructed just to get out there, get the legs going, get the hamstrings warmed up, and they're going to really come at the Roughnecks. Who knows?
I think we might have had a change. I think we're going to get to see Russell Cicerone on for Timbers 2. The referee, he went over to the 4th, and we'll find out exactly what the switch is. It looks like we might have 2 now coming up for Timbers 2.
I think from the Roughnecks point of view, you're right. Pop will tell you about those substitutions in a moment for the Roughnecks. So Cleveland in goal. We've now got Dekovic at left back, Ugarte and Mojadama the centre backs, with Kimura at right back, and then the 2 sitting central midfielders of Colin Fernandez and Bronico, and then Rivas on the left, Balou on the right, Kaffa the captain playing in the number 10 role and in the number 10 shirt behind Svan Tussen, the big 6'6" guy up front, who's already got 1 on the night. We're just waiting for the referee. I think we've got a couple of substitutions, so Timbers have brought on some fresh legs. That could certainly be, you know, interesting.
Yeah, they have Terrell Lowe and also Russell Cicerone.
And it's going to be a goal kick, if we remember, for Timbers as we get underway, because Brady Balou, if you remember, went down with that injury, having just had a shot, and then the rain came down and we had the long break. So here we go, my friend. 36 minutes on the clock.
Back in action. Coming to you live from the Bank of Oklahoma broadcast booth. Jeremy Poplin, Dave Saunders with you. Tulsa leading 3-1 as we are back in action. And an early foul here. Be a good 40 out from goal.
Of course, we mustn't forget the officials as well, because they've got to restart their game and make decisions, and that's an early one for our referee tonight.
Court Furniture Rental has played a key role in making the Roughnecks players feel at home when they're not on the pitch. Court Furniture, there when you need it and gone when you don't.
It's a long way out. We're expecting a little dink in, or is he going to have a go? It's about 35 yards out.
Well, there was lots of movement there early, and he was still backing away from the ball. He had one, not much on it. Took a low dip, and Ugarte's
had a quiet but positive game tonight, hasn't he? And we just want him to get through this 36 minutes without a card. Just be strong as he always is.
Kaffa nearly had that one on his foot. Throw in now for Tulsa. There you see Dekovic. In the New Balance kits. New Balance is the new official sportswear provider for the Tulsa Roughnecks. In season number 1, you can find official New Balance products at the team store. Save there from the byline that comes off the back of Jadama. Quickly over to retrieve it was Williams. His pass trickles through the mouth of the goal and out the other side.
Little bit of a difference in the two teams there for me. You know, Williams was quick, wasn't he, to get there, but then the ball came in and there was just nobody there at all, because Williams, who's playing in the number 9 role, had to come out wide on the right. Dekovic wanted the ball left, but it's gone right.
Ian got there almost at the exact same time as the defender, now trying to harass them over in the corner. Goal kick now coming up off of Ian in the far corner here at One Oak Field. By the way, Lowe was on for the replacement for Zumanski.
Zumanski has got more minutes under his belt, hasn't he? He's come down from the first team and got some minutes tonight.
Lowe, by the way, has experience with the under 14, under 17, and under 19 national teams. Just celebrated a birthday, did Lowe. 5/12/98, the birth date on Mr. Lowe.
Makes me feel very old again.
The native of Ohio. Pocatello, Idaho, excuse me.
I think it's Cleveland. Our goalkeeper's from Ohio, isn't he, Pop?
Yes, Akron.
Well, you said the first 10 minutes, and you know, you'd say again the possession.
Good feel right now for T2.
Yep, it is.
Tried to slice in between. Dekovic got a piece of it with the knee. The outside here is Cicerone from the corner of the 18. Slots it back. Closing out to cut down the angle was Ugarte, not allowing that shot. Up in the air, Cleveland has it. Good defending and goalkeeping there from the youngster who goes up in the air to get it.
And that's what we were talking about just before we came back to this play, is that Cleveland will need a couple of those just to say to his defenders, look, I'm in control, I know what I'm doing. That was a great take with a wet ball now, of course, and so that'll make him feel really good. Hasten to add, he's done nothing wrong tonight.
Bjorn Ethan, if Ugarte did not come out at that angle on that run just out to the opposite side of the arc, he was going to have a go from outside and would have had a full run onto it, but good job from the center of the defense closing down, closing that gap, no space whatsoever. Good ball there, played into Ian, who drops it back to Kaffa. Kaffa just had too many defenders surrounding him, and this is where T2 has been difficult to get a handle on this evening, is when they quickly go to the other end.
Yeah, they have, and they build, as you say, very, very quickly. Here they come again, and it's up to the likes of Ugarte, who gets a little foot in there, and Jadama to remain strong at the back. And that's good goalkeeping again, because you could see that one. We've seen many a goalkeeper backpedaling, and the ball ends up in the back of the net. Well done to Cleveland. Good take again.
Cleveland with the roller to Kosuke. Finds Fernandez. Fernandez just couldn't fit it to Ian on the dead run. Just a little bit more on that ball, and Svantesson would have been off to the races.
Well, credit Timbers too here. They've really come out and taken this one to the Roughnecks, but we want this man on the ball. Kaffa needs to be on the ball. We always say it. Here's a go at the Timbers player there. But we need Kaffa on the ball. It's you know, to get that supply to Big Ian up front. So let's hope he does. He just calmed down there. But good refereeing again, just stepping in there.
Yeah, look at Kaffa on the back of the heel there. Kaffa is flamboyant as always. Not afraid to let the other player know exactly how he feels at any given moment.
No.
Poor ball there by Jadama.
Yeah, and like any sort of, you know, flair player, he's going to be a little bit targeted. Not that that happens too much in the modern game, but here he is on the ball again.
Oh, that run, Brady kept going on the opposite side after the takeaway. That last line of defense, the defender just was able to eye that and watch that. Timed it perfectly. Cicerone just checked in. Cuts inside the box. Step over move working here against Dekovic. And a good job from Brady Ballou to come out. Got a piece of it. The deflection outside of the 18. Still in favor of T2 here. Oh, a little meg there, but Kosuke was able to fight back and get that one away.
Kosuke said, you can have the meg, but you won't get past me again. And he really did well to get his body in there. Cicerone's made a really good difference, hasn't he, on this near side to us. And it's given Dekovic something to think about. Dekovic, not a normal left back, and he's got his work cut out here.
Dekovic hesitated there on Bijev for a brief moment. No trouble whatsoever for
fans. Here's a reminder: tonight's fireworks display, presented by Case and Associates,
Cleveland will
take
now
place
push
as scheduled.
The Roughnecks forward here in the 63rd minute.
Williams and Ugarte just getting a little tete-a-tete there. Good play again from the young keeper there. Just stood in between them as he collected that ball.
Case and Associates is your home for the Roughnecks players, and when they're not on the pitch, you can turn to Case for any apartment need that you might have at caseusa.com. Cross, the defender gets there first.
First attack from the Roughnecks. Ballou did extremely well there to win the ball in a tight space. Now is Kaffer on the right foot. Here it is. Here's his ball into the box, but well done, the defender Hansen there, yeah, stepping in before Svantassen could get there.
Here's the in-swinger. Backside Jadama. Cuts towards the byline. Can he save it in enough time? Not much on it at all. And the assistance flag was up on the far side.
Yeah, good attacking, though, from the Roughnecks. The first time they've done it in this, call it the third period of the game, if you like. I think there's no problem with both sets of players. You know, they've got themselves moving again. I think there's no problem with that. But as we say now, you know, it's now a 27-minute game, isn't it? But I'd like to see the Roughnecks get on the ball and just play the ball into Svantassen's feet a little bit more.
Good win from Ugarte, who slipped down there towards midfield. Got to the ball first, though. Cerrone on the follow-through, tries to cut to the inside. Shot in the deflection. Oh, and the young keeper had to adjust to that one in midair and got enough of it to send it over the top of the crossbar.
Well, it was our friend Bijev again, wasn't it, with his shot, and it got a deflection, and that's a fine save from young Cleveland. There he is in the shot. He'll feel good about that, but still more defending for the Roughnecks to do as we've got the corner coming up, but well done to the young man. Here it is. We get the ball eventually here to Bijev. Here he is, and then a left-footed shot, and I think it was Kosuke, wasn't it?
Oh, right off the back of his heel, yes. And on the corner, Roughnecks avoid danger. That's a difficult shot to judge in midair when it comes off of one of your defender's heels. You already find yourself in a unique position there where you're kind of caught in the air because where you expect the shot to go, and adjusted to it in the proper fashion.
Again, how many goals have we seen around the world that have come off a defender's head or shin or their back and just looped over the keeper who's backpedaling? So well done. He adjusted his feet really well then.
T2 just kind of probing here. Giveaway there by Bijev. Fernandez fighting. Kosuke backs away, sends forward. Ian thought maybe he was pulled down here. There's Kaffer, who's offsides. Portland goes quickly. Hansen plays back towards midfield. The giveaway ball that, almost a miscommunication there with Ugarte and Cleveland.
Yeah, almost a bit of misunderstanding, but as we said, you can almost understand that because those two wouldn't have played together before, I mean, one of them would have shouted. I think, to be fair to Ugarte, he had to play the ball in the end because it wasn't going to roll kindly into the area for Cleveland to pick up. I'm just wondering, you're looking at the bench, whether it's time for Joey Calistri, if he could come on and just, play the last 20 minutes would be useful.
Oh, that ball from Dekovic almost found Kaffer. It was searching forward, almost made it through, and now we'll have a yellow on Dekovic. Extracurricular activity now is...
Well, the referee came over, he's dealt with it, and there's no need for Batista, the number 98 there, to come over and get involved. it's quite simple. Okay, he's trying to protect his teammate, but the referee had everything in control. And I think now the referee's going to have a little word with other people. And I think it is Batista's bringing over. And quite right, too, from the young referee. There's no need for him to come over and get involved. And that's infuriating for his coach.
Yeah, and it wasn't a lackadaisical approach from the official, from Spalza. Or Spala. He was emphatic with issuing the yellow immediately over to take care of it against Kaffa. And really, that's just a poor decision there on Batista's part.
Yeah, and especially with his side trailing from 3-1. He just needs to get going and do his job.
Batista played his college ball at UC Santa Barbara. Has had 11 straight starts now, and now some more happening from behind. Kosuke now hits the turf. You can see Vaught up off the bench there from behind. Good job from Bijev to come over and take Williams and get him out of the frame here.
Yeah.
And we'll see exactly what happened. That was Williams that kind of came in there. And
yeah, I think Timbers wanted to get on with it quickly, didn't they? And Kosuke using all his experience.
Man, and then Williams just stepped over Kosuke.
Yeah.
He's lucky there that he didn't get booked for that.
Yeah. Of course, in some ways, Pop, it helps the Roughnecks more if the game is broken up a little bit.
It does, yes. Lewis. Mohammed. Mohammed now with the ball in his foot. Has Williams that's there. Oh, tight space there, able to come away with it. Diagonal ball cut down by the Roughnecks, and now a foul. This will be 3 yards outside of the 18. And this is a danger spot now for Tulsa as we're in the 70th minute. Ugarte pleading his case.
And again, Pop, let's have a look at this. I think it's a foul. I think it's a foul. There is, and Colin Fernandez with a foul there. And for years and years and years, I've seen players, the referee blows his whistle, gives a free kick, and he's saying it's on the whistle, dangerous position, but there's no point in surrounding a referee. I haven't seen a referee change his mind unless an assistant's flag goes up. Leave it, get on with it, organise the wall. Referee said it's on the whistle, defending to do. Now, from a Timbers point of view, you want this one to go in. From the Roughnecks point of view, you want a great save from the keeper or this one to go high, wide and handsome, as I would say.
Bijev. Could he add goal number 2 on the night? Bijev places it, and this one about 2 feet over the top of the crossbar, and he hears it from the roustabouts.
Yes, he's disappointed with himself. It's not quite the quality of Juan Pablo Caffa, is it?
Tried to place it.
Yeah, tried to place it, just got underneath it. No save for Cleveland to make. And that's what we wanted from the Roughnecks' point of view. That's exactly what you want. Now, what's the game got in store? 20 minutes to go. I'm just wondering, like I said, whether there should be a substitution now from the Roughnecks. Or is David Vaudreuil going to keep faith in this 11 that's on the field right now?
Soccer fans, Nike's the official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit nikesoccer.com. Good battle there with Kosuke. Williams was trotting there. He had Brady hugged up on him. Now he's kind of left off for Jadama. He's calling for it there in the box on the throw. Been impressed here with the patience of T2. After this long layoff, Cerrone just saved it.
Yeah, me too. They've come out and they've possessed the ball very, very well.
This is Lewis. Leaves it for Williams. Lewis continues on his run. Got tangled up there in the middle. Somehow got that ball off. Not exactly sure how. because there was a host of defenders circling him.
Well, I think Ugarte in the end had enough and just tried to clear the ball, and it hit the lad's shins. I think if you see Ugarte here, there he is, comes in, and I think Ugarte said, enough's enough, we've got to clear this ball. But like you say, credit the opposition here, because they really come out of this rain delay and really taken it to the Roughnecks, which we expected because they trailed by 3-1. But we haven't seen, sorry, Pop, we haven't seen too much of Fernandez and Bronico, have we?
No, we have not.
Midfield?
No. I was going to bring up that Coach Vaudreuil kind of came outside of the coach's box there and leaned over onto the playing surface, shouting out directions there, because he's starting to get that sense that you haven't seen Tulsa have very much of the ball at all.
No, they need to get their feet on the ball in the middle there, and as we always say, we want, you know, not only those two midfielders, but we want Kaffer on the ball as well.
Fans, you can stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays, 9 Eastern on Sirius XM FC Channel 85. Don't forget, Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week as well. Check USL.com for dates and times.
Brady Ballou's come on to the left-hand side of the three. Rivas has gone on to the right. Little tactical switch there. Still Svantessen up front with Kaffer tucked in behind him. But neither of those last two I mentioned can get hold of the ball at the moment.
There was a look there for a moment when the ball was back towards the halfway line, where you had almost 6 T2 players there were pushed up forward almost in an exact straight line. Look how far forward that Cicerone is, and also the outside back, Hansen, where he's stashed up at this point. They've shifted centrally over. Hansen now has some space here to the outside. He'll probably get some service, and there it is. And look at the diagonal run now to the corner. And that's where he'll dump it off. No, he'll keep it himself towards the byline. Has one man that's there. Jadama got the head on in front of Cleveland. And the Roughnecks will clear up past the halfway point here in the 75th minute.
Well, I think what's happened is Portland Timbers have gone, you know, more or less 3 at the back. And they're just trying to, as you said, push Hansen on as a wing back. But these two down this near side have done extremely well up against Dekovic and now Brady Ballou. Now, we are going to see a Roughnecks change.
Looks like it's Bourgeois.
Bourgeois. So that's a defensive change for the Roughnecks.
You know, he's been more active this half than I think we saw him the entire first half, and that's the man on the ball right now, Williams.
Yes. Yes, he was a bit of a lone striker, wasn't he, in the first half?
Yeah, look at him come back to receive the ball here in the second half. Lots of movement without it. Also, Mohammed has pushed forward too. Mohammed now showing, wanted that ball to be played towards the corner, unable to do so.
Well, there's 15 minutes left, Pop, so you know, the Roughnecks are sitting back. That's a good ball through, but well done Cleveland coming out there. The Roughnecks, when I say sitting back, I don't mean it in a negative way. You know, they're trying to soak up all the pressure. But I think the substitutes from the Portland Timbers 2 side have made a big, big difference. And some of the fans might be saying, well, why didn't they start like this? You know, I know they're playing against the Roughnecks team who are sort of 3-1 up and not having to push forward so much. But certainly I've been impressed with the way they've come out after this rain delay of the Portland side.
Yeah, Cicerone was the man that was on there against Cleveland. And Cicerone is still kind of smarting after that. You can see him laboring from behind. There he is right there, 29. And here is Bourgeois.
And it's Kaffer that's going off. So certainly Kaffer handing over the captain's armband here. But it'll be interesting to see how the Roughnecks line up. You know, might be a straight 4-5-1 and say to, you know, Portland, you come at us and try and break us down. We'll see where Bourgeois goes here. But certainly Kaffer's gone off. And Bradley Bourgeois is running into a deep, I would suggest, a deep midfield role. And I think his job is to look after Bijev. would be my first stab at that one.
Look at Ian fight through there and come away with that ball, earns the foul.
And Bradley Bourgeois come on and said, calm down, everybody. This is going to be absolutely fine. I'm on the field now. I can help you out defensively in the midfield. It's almost like he's gone, you know, in between Bronico and Fernandez. So more or less a sort of... it is really a 4-5-1, to be honest with you, because they've got three in the middle now battling away.
Has been a relatively quiet night for Colin Fernandez, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has, hasn't it? And since the delay, you know, those two have not had the ball. They've not had the ball from their teammates, and they've rather been bypassed by the opposition as well.
Brought down in the air. Cut towards the corner of the 18. Now this long ball well out of the reach.
But I think, again, we would say for all the possession that Portland Timbers have had, you know, it was a ball like that, Pop, that has happened that must frustrate, you know, the fans and the coach a little bit. And the Roughnecks didn't really have to defend that ball because it was just overhit.
Now let's see if Tulsa can keep some possession here. Fernandez and Kosuke. Ugarte drops deep. High press now coming on. Bijev. So where Tulsa does not want to give this ball away here. Jadama. Cicerone applying some pressure. Jadama now dribbling up past midfield. Finds Rivas, who has a goal here this evening. And that's a tad bit better there over the last couple of minutes from Tulsa.
Yeah, it's a difficult position for them to be in, to be fair. You know, they led 3-1. We had a, you know, big rain delay and, you know, 36-minute game. And here we are with 11 minutes to go. You know, and they haven't had to press forward. They know that they've got to soak up some pressure as Dekovic goes down this left-hand side. But those two players right there have done extremely well for Timbers too. And they've come out and really taken this game to the Roughnecks. Difficult position for the Roughnecks to be in, though. But as we said, a fourth pop would really kid it off now, but they haven't really, to be honest, got near Hamilton's goal since the rain delay.
I'd like to encourage the fans that are watching here in town to get your tickets now for the Open Cup third round with San Antonio FC making their way to Tulsa. We'll play at the University of Tulsa on Wednesday.
On a very, very fine surface, can I add. Brilliantly kept by TU. And it's a great surface to play on, isn't it? We've both walked on that field and saw them play against the Energy Under-23s. It is a great facility there for the Roughnecks.
With an opportunity, if they win, I believe, to move on and play FC Dallas in Dallas. That would be, I believe, on the 13th of June.
A nice little trip down the 35, isn't it? Pop going down south down there to Dallas.
You can go 35. You can also go 65 or 69, which turns into 75 once you get there in Texas. A couple of ways to go. That's good fight from Tulsa there. Not allowing the clearance, and that will be out over the touchline for a throw-in for Tulsa here in the 82nd minute. Jeremy Poplin and Dave Saunders with you, coming to you live from the Bank of Oklahoma broadcast booth. Bank of Oklahoma would like to welcome all of you watching and proud supporters of the Tulsa Roughnecks in their third professional season. I will give the back line of Portland a lot of credit as well, because to me, they've done a good job of surrounding Ian every time that he's had an opportunity to have a touch. They've done their homework.
Well, that's one thing I'm sure the coach would have talked about in the locker room in the rain delay, is to keep the lone striker quiet. Don't let him have anything, and you're absolutely right. And that's what I was saying about, you know, the likes of Batista is a great player. He didn't need to get involved just now because he's so good. He's such a great defender.
Through the center of the pitch. Somehow Bijev brought that one down with the chest there for a moment and still turned, headed towards goal, finally knocked away.
He's been my man of the match for the visitors. Scored a great goal. It's a good run from Bronico.
Free and a shot that just misses the post from Ian.
Well, Bronico did all the hard work there, Pop. He chased down what looked like a lost cause down the left wing, cut in between two defenders. We'll see it here. And then it hits the maybe an arm, and then Seven Tussin there with the shot just wide of the target.
Have another sub now for the Roughnecks.
Mr. Calistri.
Calistri will replace his Chicago Fire counterpart, Colin Fernandez.
So I think probably what will happen now is that Bourgeois will go in there next to Bronico. And Calistri will play as one of the three in front of those midfield, holding midfielders. There he has gone out to the right. Rivas has gone into the middle, playing almost in the Kaffa position. Brady Ballou still out wide on the left.
Deep cross, Calistri now on it for the first time. We'll leave that for a throw-in. Bijev, by the way, was an all-league first-team honor at the conclusion of the 2016 season last year.
Another card there shown. Joey Calistri there with the...
Joey says, come on, man, I just came in.
Yeah. 4 goals this season. Great, great player. Very, very exciting player. Great to have him here, isn't it?
And we talked about earlier, the general manager for the Fire made some comments this week about how impressed that he's been with Fernandez and Calistri and what they've accomplished here in Tulsa, and how good that Coach Vaught and the franchise has been to those individuals here on loan from Chicago. Bourgeois had a man on. That was Lewis.
Well, we've got about 4 minutes of the 90, plus 3 or 4 minutes probably to go, excuse me, to go up on the board. So you feel from the visitors' point of view, they need to go very, very quickly. Obvious thing to say. From the Roughnecks' point of view, keep the door shut now.
That's a great ball that's played in there. Jadama does well. Good ball from the back line. Very impressed with the placement of that. Cicerone running onto it. Jadama, though, just played it perfectly. Right time to come in there. And I was just getting ready to make the comment that if you're Tulsa, you'll let T2 dink and dunk it in their back end all that you want. It's those long balls over the top. And as soon as that thought came into my mind, that's when that ball was played in from the back.
Yeah, no, you don't mind them, as you say, dinking and dunking it. But the Roughnecks now have got to throw in deep in Timbers' territory here. So can they keep it down there? No, they can't. Ball belted away.
Oh, Jajama had that one taken away from him towards the byline. Cleveland was there. It was Williams. Cleveland came right at the edge of the 6-yard box. This is a corner now coming up. Watch this. Yeah, that was Cleveland. It just got a piece of it, went down to one knee. Still a very dangerous spot here.
Good header away from Dekovic there.
Brady dumps it to the opposite end of the field. You see Hamilton starting to cheat forward a little bit here to give them another option. Up near midfield. Batista. Just not any runs right now for Portland, and they're happy with just keeping the ball for right this second. Hansen step over move against Brady, misplays it and loses it. Rivas comes away with it. Rivas steps over the would-be tackle and too far out in front. Throw in now coming up for Portland as we're in the 89th minute. Nike is the official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit nikesoccer.com. And there you see it. The Roughnecks have never beaten the Portland Timbers and have been outscored here at home 5-1. You can stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts on Mondays at 9 Eastern. That's p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC Channel 85. There's a foul directly in the middle of the pitch. Don't forget also Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. And there's Ugarte, who gets booked one more time.
Yeah, Ugarte there just coming in, shrugging the player off here. And does pull him back, I think.
He got up in the face area, what it looked like, with a little forearm.
Yeah, I think he would say, well, you know, a little smile. He's saying that was my first one all night, ref. But I think the referee, you know, is okay to give a card there.
Ugarte just coming off a suspension as well for the accumulation of cards.
Again, we're probably talking 30 yards out here, but Bijev might fancy this one.
I bet you he hits this one better than he did the last one. Little driving ball, but not much of a challenge at all for Stephon Cleveland.
It was Ronaldo-esque, wasn't it? Trying to get over the ball and make it kind of like a curveball, wasn't it? We're going to have a few... 4 minutes. 4 minutes to be added on. So still time for Portland Timbers to get something out of this game, but they're going to have to be very, very quick now, of course. You almost feel they've got to go a bit more direct now, a little bit quicker than they are, but who knows? Roughnecks just have to sit in and see this one out.
Boy, Hansen is quick, some nice moves. Ball free there in the box. Roughnecks fortunate. That shot does not find its way through. And Hansen played a good ball, just couldn't find anyone to get a foot on it.
Svantasson was rather on his own there, had nowhere to go at all.
Cicerone.
Well, that'll help the cause. That's a loose ball there from Cicerone. It's going to be a throw into Kimura down in that right-hand corner.
Cleveland just came out and patted Jadamo on the back there for his great job of marking. Cicerone has had a couple of opportunities here from the corner of the 18 where he's elected to take the ball more to the inside. Just hasn't been a whole lot of room for him to unleash one from that distance. But he's had a good run since he's come on. That one cleared almost completely out of the park. Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's where you need it.
That's Rivas.
With 2.5 minutes to go of injury time, that's where you want the ball.
That would went across the street into the parking lot. A header there. Ooh, dangerous. And Cicerone just narrowly pulled Portland within one.
Well, to be fair to Cleveland, he was quite confident that was going to go wide, I think. Let's have a look at the replay. Was he kidding us there? Nah, it's going wide. Look, he says, going wide, Pop. I think his heart...
He had a better angle than I did from up here.
His heart was beating, I think.
You know, for having the delay, this has been a good game.
Yeah, I think, you know, with the... I put my watch on tonight. 1 minute and 10 seconds left of the 4 to go. It has been a good game. You know, we haven't seen any further goals. There's still a little bit of time left, but, you know, the Roughnecks have come out and done a job. They're not over the line quite yet, but it would take something pretty spectacular now. There's a free kick, so that'll waste some more time, and we've got less than a minute to go. You know, never easy, as we said, Pop, is it? Coming back, everybody, you know, including the officials, everybody has to kind of get going again. And I said to you, I think Dave Vaudreuil would have said, look, this is a 36-minute game now. It's 0-0. If we keep it at 0-0, we win the game. And that's the way it may pan out. No further goals. We'll see. And the Roughnecks come away with 3 points, and they could well be third after tonight.
Kosuke. Good ball there from Bronico towards the corner flag. On a dead run now. Can they pull it back? No, got to the byline, and the assistance flag is up for a corner.
I think Calistri ran out of ground,
He
actually.
did. And that will do it. The whistle sounds, and the Roughnecks are victorious here at home at One Oak against T2, 3-1. And officially, as of right now still a ways to go, not only throughout the season, but a lot of games being played tomorrow. But the Roughnecks will close out this night in third place in the Western Conference after a 3-1 victory with some new faces here. Branico coming back for his second appearance in Tulsa, and the debut of the young keeper, Stephon Cleveland from Akron, Ohio, who only lets one behind him this evening, and the Roughnecks win 3-1. We'll get a word from Coach Vaught coming up here shortly.
I think Coach Vaught will be pleased. You know, long delay, Pop, you know, going in at 3-1 up, you know, as I say, I'll say again, I think he would have said to the players, you've just got to go out and start again. There's no other way you can do it. Go through the warm-up. I said to you, I thought the warm-up was very professional, but then we saw Portland Timbers come out in this 36-minute, you know, period and really try, you know, their best. Lots of possession. I'd love to know the stats on the possession, because it's probably, you know, 60-40 just in that period. Overall, Pop will be able to tell us what the USL, you know, statistics say. But credit the opposition, they came at us, but really there was no real save for Cleveland to make. There are a few blocks in there by the defenders, but the Roughnecks had to kind of just see it out in, you know, a sort of professional way, and that's exactly what they've done, and they've come away with the 3 points. It's a 3-1 win.
Total overall possession, 57% for Portland and 43% for the Roughnecks. Attacking-wise, shots outside the box, there were still 10 for Portland and just 1 for Tulsa. 13 in the box for the Roughnecks and 5 in the box for T2. Shooting accuracy, 42% for Tulsa. 15 shots total for T2. 5 of those were on target. 14 shots for Tulsa, 6 of those on target. And that kind of tells you the story there as far as the attack is concerned. Distribution tonight. Passing accuracy, 79% for T2, 74% for Tulsa. And T2 finishes the night with 21 crosses. And we're going to head down on the field level now to have a conversation with the victorious David Vaudreuil as they win 3-1 over Portland Timbers 2.
It was definitely a hard-fought battle out there, especially with the weather delay, and it got a little chippy there in the end of the second half. But all in all, what did you kind of see from your team tonight?
No, it was a question when you take that much time off, you have to keep the intensity up. You can't go to sleep, and it took us a couple minutes, but we fought hard and we played hard. And, hey, they're still coming at us very hard with a lot of skill and a lot of speed. And, you know, we worked hard enough to keep the 2-goal advantage, so I'm very happy with that win.
And Juan Caffa scored his 4th goal of the season tonight off the penalty kick. Now, 3 out of the 4 goals he scored this season have all come from set pieces. How was he able to be so effective in those?
Well, he's just a great striker of the ball, but it's us attracting fouls and set pieces and creating penalty kicks and free kicks for him. But, you know, that's part of the value. We're looking to do that for him, to give him more and more opportunities.
All right, thank you, Coach. Congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you, Paige, for that conversation with Coach Vaught. And you heard it there, you know, wanted to keep the ball away from him as much as possible there coming out of the locker room in the second half. And just had to be able to nurse that 2-goal lead that the Roughnecks had built up with 3-1 your final score. I have not heard exactly who the man of the match is going to be as far as the roustabouts are concerned, but if I could give mine, it's going to that man right there, Joaquin Rivas. I thought that he had a tremendous game this evening. Maybe got kind of caught a little bit after the delay, but before the delay happened, I thought Rivas had one of his better games that we've seen throughout the entire season so far. Some of your quick thoughts before we say goodnight?
Yeah, couldn't disagree with on Rivas. I thought defensively, though, I think, you know, I think Kimura was great. Yep. He didn't put a foot wrong tonight. You know, I thought Jadama had a pretty good game. I thought Ugarte had a pretty good game. You know, unsung heroes again, but I think, you know, they'll probably go with Rivas. But my quick thoughts, I thought it was a difficult night for the Roughnecks to get through. They got a bit lucky with the penalty maybe to go 2-0 up, conceded the goal 2-1, then went 3-1, then we had the rain delay, you know, so they had to come out and just be professional. It wasn't pretty the last 36 minutes, but that doesn't matter. They come away with the 3 points, and that means that we move up the table. I think we move 5 places up the table tonight. A good night all round.
Let's see the highlights from earlier this evening as the Roughnecks win 3-1. And we'll get things started here. This is with Bronico. Watch this blast. That one was well over the top of the bar, but had the opportunity there and elected to take it. There's a cross that gets cleared out. Here's the first half highlights from this evening. This was a chance here early that went wide there of Cleveland, and here's the first goal of the night.
Yeah, Corrales coming up from left back, a brilliant pullback, and that's a confident finish from Rivas, as you said, Pop, one of our men of the match tonight. Here it is again. There's a foul on Svantassen there. That wasn't the foul for the penalty, but here's the penalty from Caffa that was put away 2-0.
Boy, there's the face of strong, your Green Country Chevy dealer's tackle.
And then this one was a warning of what was to come. That's had Cleveland sprawling there, but here's the goal.
It was great individual effort on that first attempt by Bijev, and this is where he finishes near post to pull Cleveland back within 1. Here's Rivas.
Yeah, Rivas with a wonderful piece of skill there. Curls the shot. That would have been almost goal of the season just with that piece of skill. But here is the third goal, beautifully floated in from Jadama. And there's Ian Svantassen there, rising above the keeper. We weren't finished. That's a great ball. Here's Svantassen, and that was a great save. We credit the keeper, Hamilton, on that one. That was all in the first half.
It was. And to the second half, not much as far as big scoring opportunities are concerned. Brandt there into the supporters section behind the goal. A Kafa cross, which gets cleared out by the defender. Here's this ball that was maybe the best chance of the entire second half, and the young keeper does well to get a piece of it, enough to keep it over the top of the bar.
And then this was really a feature of the, well, there was probably the best chance, wasn't there, of from Swan Tussen, but the feature of the night was the goalkeeper and the defenders for the Roughnecks. They just seemed to get legs in the way, block everything, and really it was a shutout in that 36 minutes.
Yep.
That was a decent chance.
It was. It absolutely was. And there's the Roughnecks players signing autographs, as they always do. After the 3-1 win here this evening over T2, I want to say thank you to everyone here at One Oak who decided to stick through the weather conditions here this evening. Thank you to all the camera crew for everything that you guys do, because without you, we wouldn't be able to accomplish this. And thank you to all the production staff as well. For my partner, Dave Saunders, I'm Jeremy Poplin. Roughnecks win 3-1 over the Portland Timbers 2. Everyone have a safe and happy Memorial Day weekend.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from United Soccer League.